Sharif, the professor, is off in Cabo, and Obi is in form. So Joe and Obi, which we like to call Joby.
Hopefully, had better luck than the Bills, you guys.
Oh, that was unnecessary.
Yeah, we're both in gray here. You know, we're like referees over here. No, we support the Bills right here, man. Right here, right here. All right, let's go back over. Joby, ready to rock and roll. Thanks, everybody. Ciao.
Yo. What's happening? This monitor is kind of in the way.
You're tilted, eh? It's tilted. You're not tilted, though.
Oh, absolutely not. The only thing tilting here is maybe the monitors. How's everyone doing? Welcome, welcome.
Overall market. Who's muted?
Who's muted? I'm not muted.
I'm not muted.
Okay.
I'm on. Am I live now?
Are we live? Are we doing this live?
All right,
I think we're doing this live. I think so. Oh, it's not live?
It's not live.
It's just a practice session.
It's not, okay, it's not live. End it right now. No, what's going on, everyone? I hope everyone's having a fantastic morning. And what we were talking about earlier was saying, oh, Obi said my monitor's tilted. I said, are you tilted?
No, because look, you can see it as part of the screen there. Look at it.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, maybe we got to get that. Yeah, maybe we can get that out of there. But okay. It's been like that. Never noticed
we'll
it.
Get on that soon. All right.
But aside from this, guys,
let me pull up the chart.
What a stock market. Yes, I know a lot of people's portfolios are getting destroyed, are losing a lot of capital, or unrealized gains. Unfortunately, it is. Yeah, well, Obi, we went over this yesterday.
I know.
In order to buy more, you need to have cash, and if your cash is all tied up within the market, then how are you going to buy more? All right. So, Jody, what's going on? Everyone, let's go through some of these names. I don't know why YouTube's doing this once again. So,
change our names again?
Ads. Yeah, exactly. Okay, Jody can hear us. Joey, you tilted? No, I'm not tilted at all, my friend. Surprisingly so. I got a couple of the longs to work this morning, but first things first, why not? What's going on? Chunk of all trades, Grant Radcliffe, Andrew Chow, Oker, what's going on? Bright Awakening, Kirk D, Eric Butch, Gone Rappy, what's up, Roger Noonan, and we'll go over a couple more because I'm hearing we're going over to Adara. We said hello, Jody. I'm going to say it one more time. And Joseph Brown, how are you, my friend, this morning? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Adara, talk to us.
Yeah, let's talk here about Cloudflare. NET on watch because it looks like we might be having some more outage problems. You know, earlier this week, there was an outage here with Cloudflare. It impacted a host of platforms, including but not limited to X and OpenAI. I was having some issues with X. It looks like this has just been confirmed as of a couple of minutes ago. Down Detector saying that users are reporting problems with Cloudflare. So again, keep an eye here in NET. Stock continuing to move lower, guys. Back to you.
So yeah, okay, guys, let's go over our trades here on the day. Surprisingly so, we had the ability to catch a couple of longs. You're cooking over there, says Ryan O'Day. Hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing even better, my friend. Not too bad of a session so far. So surprisingly, we get this move up here on TSLL. That one's working relatively nice for us. And then also, we caught some of the Google longs as well too, guys, but the second opportunity was most definitely the better one. We're up here at the highs, we piece it out, and then as soon as I seen an inverted hammer candle above the volume weighted average price, I was out of there like no tomorrow. So there is what we got going on. Took a small attempt here on IBIT to the long, but it's so unfortunate what's going on in the crypto space. I have no issues with taking that for a potential rebound, considering I think we're short-term oversold. More people are just getting liquidated at this point, so it's not a good look whatsoever. And I'm not even going to say poor Michael Saylor at all. I don't feel any way towards that guy. But, all right, KC 526.
Thank you for the
super chat. Thank you very much for that, Casey. As always, day about to get better. Obi's in the building. You guys got that correct. As the market is continuing to head to the downside. Let's take a look at some of these names before we send over to my guy Obi, and he's going to give you his morning trade review and some monster shorts. Really good shorts. I said to him, really nice work, brother. And now I'll continue to do so. But neckline breaks, are we looking at the same thing here that we experienced yesterday? Why not? If it worked once, you got to take it a second time. And if it doesn't, I still think you're putting probability in your favor. And you know what trading is. May the odds forever be in your favor.
Yes, sir. You gotta do the, what's the sign?
Yeah, what is the sign?
I think it's, I don't remember what it was.
What is it? Yeah.
Okay, no. There was okay, maybe that one.
It's this.
Is it that? Okay, cool. Yeah, may the odds ever be in your favor.
Yeah,
I like saying that a lot as well. Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah, it's this.
Or good afternoon, everyone. It feels like time went by so fast. That morning session was absolutely crazy there.
Oh, 3 fingers.
Yeah, it was three. I swear it was like three fingers or something like that. Yeah, the Mockingjay. Yeah, no. Nvidia with the continuation happening today, man. I had the short, but I did not have it as effectively as I really can here. So let me just okay, we got this wiki action here. I'm just gonna close this chart, reopen it. Let's see if that'll fix us there real quick. But yeah, no, let me know in the chat what you guys were trading. Nvidia, definitely. Today is day 2 of earnings. There it is. There's a much better chart to look at right here with those wicks kind of cleared off. Here we go. So right off of the open, this 182 in the pre-market was very interesting as we consolidated and kind of traded a little bit lower. Consolidation lows broke right off the bat coming into the open, and I was a little bit slow. I tried to punch this 180 and I actually missed the punch because my order didn't cross far enough. So I was like, all right, well, this is really good. I get short going into 179s. I'm like, all right, now I have to size down and be willing to take more and then give it all back to 180. Like if it goes back through 180, this is no longer the trade that I want to be in. But I think getting in the pre-market is probably a better way to potentially take this, in my opinion, when I'm reviewing it. But you know, it is what it is. Still got a piece of the momentum. Still got aggressively sized through the 180 break, and then pushed right into that failure to follow through of the lows. We kind of push back in, the buyers kind of step back in, the bid step back in, goes sideways. I see that happening. I'm covering right away. 177s, thank you, come again. I am no longer involved in that one, but the re-engage happened at VWAP. You can see that 180. It attempts that 180 again. I already kind of established in the morning, right off of the open, that 180 is a very key area. It attempts to push, and sellers step back in, and we get a lower high with VWAP confluence. This was the better trade, in my opinion, for the continuation, because when sellers step in, and it's really confident because you have that head and shoulders pattern. We talked about this a couple of shows ago, I think, where buyers step in. We attempt to break those highs, buyers step in again, and we cannot make it. So there's only a couple ways left to go, sideways and down we definitely picked with market tailwind off of the open. So Nvidia was absolutely beautiful. I tried that 300 break on Google. That was my second trade off of the open. That 300 did not go right away, 299. So I was anticipating the push because of the strength. 299s doesn't go right away. I get out for pretty much break even, but 300 eventually does come in, and it's been chopping around since then. Where's the next one? I think I took a little bit of Apple as well. I'll keep Nvidia on the main screen because I'm definitely continuing to watch that for more opportunities. But the reversion on Apple was quite nice as well. You can see here, absolute crazy strength right off of the open. The whole market is going one way, and Apple's like, yeah, I don't care. I'm getting bid up into an area of potential supply. We've seen this area be a little bit heavy over the past couple of weeks, and that supply comes right in right after that buyer is done. Now, my VWAP on this screen is all the way down here, 267 halves, but on a couple of other platforms, I have it a little bit up here, above 286s, so that was the trade, reversion to VWAP, and that comes in pretty cleanly, and I take it right at VWAP, but that VWAP hold was absolutely solid. That took us through some fresh highs, through 270s, and it is one of the more relatively strong stocks on the day, other than Google, of course, which is, again, trying to break those highs. So those were the trades I had in the morning. The Nvidia, big miss, big fumble on a day 2 continuation. It gives it to you absolutely solid. And a couple of other missed names as well, Joe. We saw Sean in that AMD. AMD was actually part of my list this morning, and I chose not to take it for whatever reason, but it gave you that beautiful sell and VWAP hold as well. Multiple times, attempts at VWAP kind of showed you that, yeah, no, sellers are very much in charge and unwinding their positions in AMD. And what's going on, Adara?
We're continuing to get this slow rollout of dates for the economic data we missed, guys. We're apparently now hearing the consumer price index data for the month of November. This is still new, but it's not going to be released here until December 18th. So again, the BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, has continued to roll out these dates of this data due to, of course, the shutdown impacting a lot of these data releases. Apparently, there's not going to be an October CPI report, but we will get a November CPI on December 18th. Back to you.
your points are that fantastic, and I think a lot of it, most definitely including myself, I wouldn't say struggle with, but always want to continuously work on. So you were thinking, hey, you wanted to take AMD, but for some reason you just didn't, right?
Yeah, I was focused on, you saw right off the open, it was Google and Nvidia.
You were
right? I was like hyper-focused right there. And I was like, Nvidia chips, I don't necessarily need to get involved in AMD, but the thing is, over time, I do have to get a little bit better, being like, all right, well, I do like a few of these ideas. AMD was pretty much just as strong as Nvidia, but Nvidia day 2 gave me a little bit more confidence.
And you and I talked about it from a daily perspective as well, too. We're like, hey, we're starting to enter that downside gap.
Yeah. On Nvidia?
Yeah, on AMD.
Okay.
Yeah,
so they were both entering a little bit of a gap, like the breakdown.
Exactly. So what we're talking about here, anyways, aside from what I'm getting at essentially is the beautiful thing about creating an algo and kind of going to that quantitative approach is that you eliminate that mental bias, because Obi and I, with multiple occasions, I seen it on the likes of Google this morning. Your algo doesn't care. It doesn't have a bias. It just triggers you in automatically, and you just let the play do the rest of the work. You let the system do the rest of the work. It's either it's going to work or it's not. It's literally that simple. So that's the beauty about it. But guys, was I not talking about this on AMD over the past couple of days? You see we had that neckline break, almost a borderline head and shoulders here, and then now we have officially breach this upside gap to the downside, and we're going to start to fill it. So I think that one of the next key levels that we need to keep an eye out for here is around that 186.25 level on AMD. Now, I'm not going to be surprised if we head to that area, because you can see the momentum and the volume start to stair-step higher as we are heading into that, or as we have breached that gap and heading towards a previous pivot high. Now, also, what were we talking about yesterday as well, too, is just the overall market and opportunities to get back in. Now, we went all the way back to, I think it was early 2000s, and seen what we had going on. It's, again, we don't want to complicate it, but a previous high, you break down, you construct a new high. Where is that current pullback to? The previous high. Okay, we have a new high being established up here. We climb, we climb, we climb. We break down, where is it to? Within a couple of percentage points to that previous pivot high. Oh, guess what? We do the same thing again. We put in a new high, we break down, and where is it to? The previous pivot high. So what am I thinking? Is it gonna go all the way down to 538 anytime soon? That I don't know. But over an extended period of time, I think this is going to be a great buying opportunity, especially if you run into 538 on the Nasdaq. And I'm going to be looking at that in particular, because if it's happened 3 times, I'm going to take that opportunity and that chance that it's going to happen a 4th time. Whether I'm wrong or not, that's irrelevant. But what I believe I'm doing here is putting probability in my favor, and I'm happy to be sitting on some cash, waiting for those specific levels to come into play, Obi.
Yeah, I think that's an important part. It's just like, it goes back to what we keep talking about, waiting and sitting on your hands for those best opportunities in your playbook to kind of show up here. I'm just pulling up a couple of charts here, but yeah, no, still watching this Nvidia. Nvidia's back at VWAP. Apple's strong, holding that 270, and there's one more stock here, Google, which is trying to push its highs as well. So let's pull up the chart on Google here and take a look at what's going on. Absolute strength, V-shaped recovery, pretty much. You saw that selling kind of come in here in step with the market, but that bid steps right back in with a day low right here of just shy of 294. It's 293.85s here, day low, and then just chopping sideways. We just attempted a push of the high right there. You can see supply maybe potentially coming right back in here. So the question becomes, do we range? Yesterday was a very strong leg down, and a lot of the times when I see strong legs, the question I ask is like, okay, one of the possible iterations could be leg consolidation leg. The 3-bar pattern, if you want to call it that, sure, it's not clean, it's engulfing, it's kind of there, but like, do we get a consolidation day after a strong day? That's the question generally that I'm asking, and it seems like so far here on Google, yes, it's given you the leg to the upside, it's given you the leg to the downside, it's also given you the reversion of the reversion back up through that 300. Now the question becomes, will Google lead the way to the market reversion here. You can see here, even though we've been pretty choppy, the market is a little bit consolidative coming into the open. It's just been in this range here, and we've seen demand come up in this lower end of the range. So I'm asking the question: does demand show up once again here above that, in and around that 24,000 area? If it does, what's the likelihood of Google breaking this 300 from today, and then yesterday's high on watch as well at 306.5? So if then statements is what I like to kind of focus on when I'm trading, when I'm trying to build my probabilities or that set of ideas, and that's kind of what I'm looking at right now in terms of Google relative to the reversion of the market, bouncing off of 24,000 right now. Where's the next trade? I want to ask you guys that. I'm still waiting and watching, but nothing too crazy as of right now, Joe. Tesla though, Tesla seems like it might be catching a curl, so that might be the one. I'm looking at the Mag 7 here. Which one is the most extended to the downside? That would be Tesla, my friend. And look at that, a little bit of a bid coming in. A false break of the day low has already happened, and a potential break of this trend. The sellers have definitely dissipated, that's for sure. So a little bit of a confluence for the long idea here happening on Tesla, and maybe pulling back up into some of these opening range areas there, Joe. So that's what I'm watching. Leave it in the chat. What are you guys watching as well? Amazon, yes. Who said that just now? That chat.
Who said it, Obi?
Rusty Dutch. Okay,
Rusty,
cool.
okay.
Amazon could be along. Yeah, maybe potentially, but sideways chop is what I'm seeing on Amazon. I was watching it earlier for a potential low a day break, but look at that. False break of the day lows. So nothing too much for me there. Consolidative nature on a lot of these stocks here. But yeah, some are distinctly different. Apple, Alphabet, a little distinctly different relative strength on those ones. What do you got going on?
Absolutely. Whenever you're ready, Assassino, let's fire it up. All right, guys. You want to stay ahead? That means mastering the crucial, often overlooked essentials. This is your chance because Trader TV Academy is coming soon. We'll be diving deep into the topics we can't always fit into the live stream, like advanced risk management, position sizing, and the psychological required to sustain long-term profitability. This is the material that separates the hobbyist from the professionals. Stay tuned for more info. Make sure you are subscribed and follow us on socials so you won't miss when we officially launch. Beautiful stuff there as always. All right, guys, so there it is. I mean, we were starting to cook up a little bit there on Tesla, but you can see the sellers fully engaged, pushing price right back down. So we are at 25s. I was looking for 50s, but my risk is defined. If we crack this low of the day, which looks like we're heading towards it, then that's fine. We did breach this downtrend that in which I had drawn out earlier. So I liked my chances. It broke for a little bit of a climb, but you can see that the volume and the pressure is most definitely, so sellers are in favor. At this point, if it cracks this 5-minute base, then I think we're gonna have to flip short on this one, 385.29, and we know Tesla can most definitely get hit the hardest out of some of these bigger names. And we can take a look at it from a daily as well too. Boom, neckline being broken, multiple attempts, and then you're also going to be running into some key levels. So watch out for 370. That might be in the works. I'm not saying necessarily today, but in the near term as we are breaking through some key support levels. I sold Tesla around 270 something. So yeah, I mean, there it is, guys. Not too bad of a look. Failed to break this high. I thought when we were up here at 468, this was going to be the green light for that breakout, Obi, but a failed one at that, and sure enough, we are starting to head significantly lower. Now, from a percentage metric, we're down 20% off of this pivot high. Not the greatest look. We can go through a couple more of the bigger names, these mega caps, and see how much of a discount we could potentially be getting. 16% on NVDA, but keep an eye out on this, guys. There might be some more potential downside. Obviously, I wish for a rebound, but at the same time, I don't mind loading the boat on some more NVDA, considering I have an amazing average price in the LT portfolio. So just adding. So I sold over 50% of my IBIT position in the long term at 53. So that was going to be putting us around 93,000 US dollars on Bitcoin itself. You can buy it back significantly cheaper now. Do I want to? I don't know. I'm going to take some chances. I will increase my exposure once again to that. But I think there's going to be some pretty good opportunities. And what other opportunities may I be talking about, Joseph? Well, here, let me tell you. I like Robinhood. I like NVDA. And there's another name on my list. You may be aware of it. And it goes by the name of META. ran by Mr. Mark Zuckerberg. So I'm going to continuously look at these names. I think we're going to get a fantastic discount on a lot of them. And I'm just going to be sitting patient because I have cash now. I have cash. Wow, this thing is getting slacked. And I mean, we took Gaurav and I took this swing up to 34s. We thought this was going to be the bounce. Sure enough, you're down 26%, a little bit more from this previous pivot high. I like our chances, but this isn't the first time we've seen that in the likes of Meta. Aggressive selling earlier in the year in February into those April lows. You dropped 35%. Are we going to drop that low? Time will tell. But nothing wrong with slowly starting to grab. While everybody else is panicking, we talked about this before, you obviously have to be sitting on cash in order to buy some more. And if you're willing to give up some of your unrealized gains, sit on that cash and wait for better prices, then I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Is the bleeding stopped? I don't know. You don't want to obviously punch right at the extreme lows, but if you've gotten out a little bit earlier, then sure enough, you're sitting in a solid position, in my opinion. Obi, what do you got?
Yeah, man, for sure. I think I want to point out here, when we're talking about bigger time frames here, Nvidia's a belle of the ball right now, with this being earnings week and earnings day 2. So let's take a look at a higher time frame and see where this is really sitting here. And something interesting to me on the weekly here. We're starting to look a little bit weaker here. 200. You can see a little bit of a chop, an attempt to push. Maybe if you want to call it on a higher time frame, a failure to follow through. But that buying has definitely dissipated. That's what I'm seeing right now. Potential for reversion, maybe. 150s is that prior level here, and we're only about $25 away from that, well within range of a couple days price action, a few days of price action, I would say, if we get aggressive selling. But yeah, no, I'm going to be watching this area, this consolidation on Nvidia, because I think it will be very determinant of where we go going into the end of the year. You can see compared to the SPY here on the weekly, SPY is a little bit different. More within range, but similar action here as we are looking to break this short-term trend. So where is that prior resistance, maybe looking for support? That's all the way down here at 609s. Now, I don't know if we're going to quadunk all the way down there. We did have a strong sell-off already at the beginning of the week. I talked about this, about a 17% sell-off. So are we going to get more of the same? I don't know, man. But going into the end of the year, this is starting to look like the year is panning out to look like a bit of a doji, a bit of a bottom wick at the beginning of the year, and maybe setting up for a top wick going into the end of the year as well.
Very good.
Bigger picture on the 12-month chart, you can see here, Joe, we're perfectly fine. We are squeezing. We're squeezing through the 5. We're squeezing through this 5,480. But yeah, interesting stuff nonetheless.
Hey, man, at the end of the day, what is it, Obi? Stonks only go up, baby.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely the case for SPY.
Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Here, this is what I meant to do. Sorry. No, but in all seriousness, there it goes. There goes Tesla, starting to get a little bit of a rebound right there, guys. Day's been flat, couple scalps here and there. Nice, nice work there. Gaurav, there it goes. Bang, a new high in Tesla. Let's see if we can. We're gonna post up here at 30s to see if we can catch a fill in that neck of the woods there. Obi, a little bit more off. I still have the bulk of this position. So there it is. Bang, 30s. Let's see if we can catch that. Oh boy, am I ever slow on this. All right, boom. Let's see if we can catch it on this bid up. Come on, hit the bid. We can do it. We're at the ask. There it is. Another fill on that one, so not too bad. I mean, VWAP is going to be that primary target. I want to hold the majority of my position to 1550s if we're privileged enough to get there. This is going to be a key resistance zone in my opinion, so I wouldn't be surprised if I do see a little bit hefty of a pullback, but my out is fully at the break of the low of the day. That's when I know my thesis is wrong, and there you go. You can see the rejection of that prior resistance zone coming into play once again. But if we have this volume being sustained, I like our chances for a little bit of a cover rally. Google's going oppo essentially, and I know you were talking about Apple earlier in the session as well too, Obi. So those two are two pretty strong names. Someone mentioned Epsom salts, as Sharif would like to call it, EPSM. Not too horrible of a look over there. So, but meanwhile, while I'm speaking of it, Obi, I'm going to post up at 40s on TSLL. See if we can catch a fill on that end, brother.
Yeah, for sure. I'm kind of watching this again. it got back above VWAP here on NVDA right here. So pushing to the highs, Apple as well here, kind of pushing through its highs and coming in pretty strong. The market is reverting here pretty aggressively. So I'm kind of just watching that pretty closely here, Joe. And I don't know, where is the next trade? I want you guys to tell me. Amazon long is actually working out right now and pushing a little bit higher. So I just want to kind of continue to keep eyes on that. Maybe the market breakout is potentially coming in here as well right now, Joe. So that's what I have on watch. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, is that okay? Anyways, yeah, man, there it goes. 1535s. We'll post a little bit in front of that because we did reject that resistance zone. So if we get another flush at the ask and above it, then I like our chances of getting those fills, especially the 35. And then obviously we're gonna wait for those 40s. Take the bulk of it out at 1550 if we have the privilege to do so. And then we're gonna leave a little bit for a runner. And the dream is the market is slowly starting to curl over. So that is a positive sign. It may take a little bit longer than which we are expecting. And this is what I'm talking about. We can see it from a larger time frame as well, too, guys. This is going to be acting as some solid defense right now. Now, if we have the ability to break it, I think that next level is going to put us right around those pre-market lows, which I think have to be noted 100%. So there it is, pre-market lows. That can be a significant level right there and a target as well too, guys. So we're just tapping in, man. It wants to go. So maybe this is going to be the flush as we're starting to head towards it. Don't act as too much defense. Come on, you can do it. Hit the 35. It doesn't want to do it, OB. As you can see that the bids are continuously coming in and pushing price a little bit lower and lower. So we need those aggressive buyers to step in, push up to 32, 33s. Let's see if we can find a 35 print anywhere here. 34, there it is. Oh no, they rejected it once again. Man, you can have a bunch of fun watching this tape here, and that's what I hope you're focused on. It can tell you significantly about the price action, especially. So the tape is extremely important. Do you want to focus on it all the time? Not necessarily, but you want to keep an eye on it, especially when you're looking for that precise and momentum styled play. There it goes. We're back up to 34s. We can push up into 35s. Do I front run it, or do I continuously sit on my hands and be a little bit more patient and wait for that fill? But the defense definitely has to be noted. One more strong push up here. I like our chances if the Nasdaq can catch one of them. I got to change this chart from Epson to AMD because I think that's just a little bit more heavily weighted. Captain Obvious, Mr. Wilson. But other than that, guys, come on, let's go. One more push. One more push. Okay, we're seeing, okay, no, there we go. Bang. Just like that, we caught an additional fill. In a day where the longs are a little bit harder to come by, I've literally put on 4 trades today, and they're all to the top side, and I've lost on 1. So it's just about precision and what Obi and I were talking about yesterday, knowing your system and knowing when to get in. I was on the phone a lot this morning, so I was like, hey, you know what? This is actually pretty good for me because I'm slightly distracted, and sure enough, I come in, I monitor what's going on, I take a look, get a feel for what the market's up to, and then I just go, oh, okay, I like this, it's a pretty high quality setup, let me get involved. And sure enough, there it is, OB, and we might catch another additional fill right here at 40s on TSLL, brother. What do you got going on? There it is, bang.
But yeah, I think something to keep in mind on a day like today is be patient. Be patient for those opportunities to potentially show up and fall into your lap, so that you can better exercise your playbook as well. So I think that's very, very important here. But where's the next trade? Nvidia still holding VWAP. The reversion is in, but I still don't really see anything too crazy as of right now. So I'm still patiently waiting and watching, man. I think that's a big part of it, right? I kind of repeat that over and over again because I'm not necessarily the best at doing it. So sometimes what I like to kind of practice is just putting it out into the universe, kind of being what do we say, manifesting it, talking it into existence.
Can I tell you something, Obi?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Can I tell you something? The universe doesn't have a budget, so you dream big.
Oh yeah.
Dream big.
Yes.
No budget. Thank you, Adara. Did you watch the movie that I was telling you about the other day? No, it's so good, man. You gotta watch it. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just one of those classic movies as we were talking about before. Darren and I have similar tastes in the films that we like. I'm a big film guy. I mentioned A24. I know Assassino, Fabian, and all those individuals love A24, and it's just one of my things. Even though I don't think it's made by them, but are produced, whatever it may be. There it is, Obi. A nice little move to the top side. We caught that 50 level, so TSLL working out relatively good for us today, Obi. Do you have anything on right now? You're just out hunting right now?
No, I'm just hunting. I'm watching that 180. So that 180 is coming in, right? That 180 is coming in really strong right now. So I'm waiting and watching that. VWAP continuation was nice. 270 is still holding right here on Apple. So yeah. Let's do a little bit of a market scan here. So let me pull it up. I'm looking for the next opportunity. It's not always going to be there, right? So emphasis on sitting on your hands. This market is coming into its high, so that could very well pose a bit of an entry there, a bit of an opportunity as well. So I'm just kind of waiting and watching for that. Let's see, what is the market leader today? Volume gainers, of course, it's Nvidia. Nvidia catching a bit of a bid back to its VWAP as of right now. Open as well. Okay, open. This one, it was looking like it was opening up for some fresh highs here. 948, still couldn't get past that $10 level, and then pulling back as well. So nice swing short on that one after this trend breaks back through that $9. That 850 on Friday, what is this, November 14th, was very telling. And then the next day is just straight bleeding out. And then yesterday as well, strong confluence with the rest of the market selling off. So maybe catching a bit of a relief rally there back into the upper end of the range trend down. So that's what I have on watch on open, but didn't really get involved on an intraday kind of time frame there on that one. So let's see what else is next. SoFi, potential continuation on a day like today. It was doing relative volume in the pre-market, but sideways chop as well. Tesla, of course, I'm watching this one as well. The reversion actually did come in, and we pretty much got all the way back to VWAP here. Sure, we're in that area. We didn't quite clip it, but pretty much got all the way right back to VWAP. So interesting stuff there as well. Here comes the 180. Here we go, Joe. This might be a little bit of an interesting area. So 179.60s here, watching. Let's see if anybody shows up on the offer. Let me just put that sizing filter for you guys here as well. So let's see if anyone significant shows up on the offer, or do we just kind of push through it like it's absolutely nothing? Again, piece of information, this was that sell-off area right off of the open there, and then a retest as well of this area showed us some supply. We're getting a grinding bid all the way up back into this area. So now the question becomes, do we see more of the same? Do we see that, you know, does Nvidia catch some more selling in and around this area? Now, this could be a bit of an over-under, right? If we sustain and hold above this area of supply, then, okay, maybe the selling is done. Then you got to reassess, probabilities change, and then maybe we can take a trek towards that 182, 183 and change from the pre-market highs as well. Blue Ocean, man, last night, I don't know if you traded it, but it was absolutely solid. Another one of those nights where Blue Ocean is giving us good opportunities both ways, long and short. A few different kind of ways you can kind of take it there. 180 right back through here on NVDA as it pulls in. So interesting stuff. Didn't really hold it. Maybe some supply coming in, but that is just the first test. This time around, I'm going to be a little bit more patient. The market is distinctly different than it was before. We're almost back at highs on the ES. We are more than 50% reverted on the leg down on the Nasdaq as well, trading now back above 24,100 on the Nasdaq. So reversions are definitely coming in. I'm still patiently watching this 180, Joe.
Yeah, nice, good, patient. Oh, patiently waiting. Shout out to who I know you were listening to.
Oh, I was listening to that this morning. I was definitely listening to that this morning. You know? Dude,
last night I took a wicked puck off the shin, and it just it's hurting this morning, man. My leg is swollen. I'm like, man, I remember why I stopped blocking shots. Hockey, honestly, so someone mentioned something. What's up, Los Pollos? And DVLT is really nice right now. Nice call out there, Walt, on this one. So a nice breakout there in DVLT consolidation off of those lows. But dude, I remember why I stopped blocking shots a long time ago, and I do it once in a while, and it just each time it reminds me, just stop doing it, dude. You're not 17, 18, 19 years old anymore, and things just tend to hurt a little bit more. Yes, Dabto Mister. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Absolutely shorts are available in the Blue Ocean Trading. Obi and I go short quite often, and you go long. So obviously, maybe broker providing as well too. I think that's going to be something really important. But yeah, man, I took a wicked one off the shin last night, and it's hurting. So I'm just limping. I got my right knee is bummed due to my meniscus being torn. Now my left shin is banged up. So I'm just like a walking injury bag right here. Oh, Cicino screen. Oh, you missed it. That's all right. We got it anyways, brother. There's the fill at 1557s. Nice move here on Tesla back to the top side as the market is continuing to drag a little bit higher and higher. In a day where we thought the shorts were going to absolutely dominate, I like their chances of a little bit of a rebound. Why? Because the market does get most definitely fearful. So let's see if we can catch another fill up here at 1560s. There it goes, an additional one as we post it up. Sweet trade, says Jacques. Nice move. Joe is cooking. Yes, sir, we are, as we're going off of these lows, guys. Walt, really nice call out on this DVLT as well. This is a prime time move here, brother. Beautiful bull flag. I know we were talking about this earlier, so that's what we got going on. And look at the recovery in which we are experiencing in the market, bouncing off of these lows. Now, if momentum were to pick up to the downside, what are we doing? We're playing the neckline cracks 110%. But that doesn't seem to be the case right now, as some of these bigger names are really starting to pick up some steam here, Obi. What's Goggles been up to? It's starting to cool down as the market is rallying, but guess what? I got to post up at 65s now. I'll post up at 65s. Obi, what do you got?
Not much, man. This Tesla reversion is absolutely strong. The buying coming right back in. No, I didn't take it. The reversion was all the way down there. I remember I was like, Tesla might be the one to catch a bit of a bid. I did call it out, but I was looking at a couple other things there. 388's bid right back up.
Can I say something quick?
393s. What's up?
Yeah, so I was looking at the same thing.
Oh, dude, perfect.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm telling you, I took it, right?
Let's go.
And the thing is, though, the risk profile is what really made me get in there. I had to risk 20 cents.
Great.
Now I was risking 20 cents. We're now 60 cents roughly. So that's a 3-to-1 right there, just like that. We're going to catch another fill on Tesla. Sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, I was looking at the same thing you were probably looking at there, brother.
Yeah, for sure. I think bit of a missed trade on my part, but again, I'm focused on a couple of other things here. We talked about this in the pod literally this morning. I was just like, yeah, you can't call me Ash Ketchum, can't catch them all just yet. But eventually, one day, maybe you can call me Ash Ketchum. But that's why we got to get some of the algos up and running.
Bro,
because I'm just like, there's so many trades. Like that was a valid reversion on Tesla that I was like, yeah, part of the playbook, definitely a little bit there. But I'm kind of distracted doing a couple of other things. And yeah, the trade does come in, and I miss trades like that all the time. But the thing is, it was pointed out. The question becomes, people have call outs all the time. You still have to use your own discretion and your own playbook and your own style to kind of assess that move and then decide whether you want to take it or not. And shout out to Joe for participating in that and executing on that market reversion. Great push back up on Tesla.
Have you seen that one? Have you seen that one video of the guy? His mom comes up to him. He's like, "Who's spending $1,200 in a week on Pokemon?" And he's like, well, I am. I'm serious. If I'm trying to catch them all, then I got to spend it. If people aren't serious, then I don't know what to say.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you seen that guy?
No, I haven't seen it. You got to show. Yeah. You got to show me the video.
I'll send it to you. Yeah, it's absolutely hilarious.
Man.
He's like, well, I don't know if they're serious. I'm serious. I'm trying to catch them all. And this guy's like raking up his mom's credit card. If those who have seen,
you're not really playing if you're not putting on risk.
Yeah,
let's be real.
What are you doing if you're not?
What are you doing?
But anyways, Meta, what is Meta doing? Stop that, Mike Peter Ryder, immediately. You do not, all right? Just because you're having not the best day, we've all been there, brother. So stay positive, because I know you're not. Today is just one of those where it's more difficult, all right? So I don't want to see that anymore coming out of you, because I know you got those preloads in the chat. So I don't want to see any of those degrading yourself preloads, all right? Only positive. Like, hey, man, yeah, I'm down right now. But like you said, brother, you got plenty of risk left, and there's a lot of day remaining. I mean, it's not even noon yet. So, yeah, Other than that, sorry, I'm gonna send you that video though.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely. I think I told you this. I like Pokemon. I grew up kind of watching it, collecting the cards. I still have my binder in the sleeves. I was talking to Sean like I think it was a few months ago. He sent some cards to get PSA'd. Yeah. And I was like, I got to do some of that as well. Kind of invest and solidify some of the value on those. But let's see what the value on crypto is right now with Adara.
I'll put it this way, OB Joe et al. There certainly is an increase in the value of crypto from these intraday lows. Today, as of this morning, our low of day, 80,500. Right now, we're trading around 83.5, so there has been a bit of a recovery here. I'll switch to the 3-minute chart so you guys can see a little bit more of this recent action. So we did, have a little bit of an issue breaking above that 85.5 level, which did serve as a little bit of support going into yesterday. But even then we fall, but we're trying to continue to go back up. So maybe not all hope is lost here for BTC. Ethereum looking almost identical here to Bitcoin. The level at which it struggled, much like Bitcoin here, going to be a level of support yesterday for Ethereum. That's going to be 27.7. So these technical levels are, for whatever reason, at least right now, locally, seeming to hold for BTC and Ethereum. That's not always the case with crypto, but right now, these technicals seem to be winning out. We're going to send you back to Joe and Obi, but make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. I have a whole bunch of infographics coming out always on X and TTV Research. I'm currently working on some earnings recaps, so stay tuned for the WeBull earnings recap, hopefully dropping within the next 20 to 25 minutes. Back to you.
So yeah, thank you very much for that, Adara. Assassino, we'll pull up the screen here momentarily. Oh, we never caught it close though. See if we can catch these fills here. We're going to try to do it live. We've got to keep an eye on the tape here as well, too. Are these bids increasing or are they starting to drop here? So 66s, hyper focus on it with me, folks. 66s, we're seeing 67s now. This is tape reading 101, 68s. All right, so we're getting those clean flushes to the top side, and there's 70. We just needed to hit the bid. If we can get 70 to hit the bid, then we're going to catch that fill. That's the key in tape rating. I know, Obi, do you still do screen record or?
Man, so here's what happened with the whole screen recording and why I fell out of that habit. That was horrible to do. I should technically still be kind of recording some of my screens here, but yeah, I haven't done it in a while. And there are some days where I'm just like, I wish I was recording my screen. So what happened was when the floor was still intact. So you know me, I like to have a lot of charts open. I like to kind of just, maybe some might call it information overload, but even though I have all the information displayed on all my screens, I kind of just, like to look at a bunch of charts. My computer was freezing. Oh, if I just turned on the screen recorder, it would just freeze, and my tape would freeze. So I stopped doing that. So the answer is a no. But should you be doing it? Absolutely yes. And when I talked about this, when I first joined the floor, I would record the whole day. One stock the whole day, and guess what? I chose a stock. That stock was Amazon. You guys might know, if you guys were here, for the past couple of years, there was a time early on in my career on the floor here that I would trade other things as well, but my Amazon was my thing. Amazon was my thing. So what I learned from that, trading it every day, there are days when stuff is in play and there are days where stuff is not in play. I knew that going into it. I was not trying to make money. That was not the goal there. The goal was understanding price action and kind of giving a kind of a story of stocks that are in play versus not in play. And I would go back home and rewatch the whole day at like 1.5 to 2 times speed and write down the story of the price action. Okay, the morning session, buyers did this, sellers did this, we held this. Was there anything on the tape? So I would sit with a notebook beside me during the day, and I'd write down the time. I'd be like, this time tape interesting, this time tape interesting. I wouldn't go into details. So when I go back and review, I know all the timestamps where I should be focused on the tape a little bit. Exactly. So I would do that every single day, and I did that for months on end. And it was eventually it became pretty much I would say, kind of negative EV because it would take too long.
Yeah.
It was the whole day long, and then I would kind of go back and review certain moments in time of that and compare it to what the market was doing as well. But yeah, it was a lot of work. But I don't really put in that specific kind of work anymore. But yeah, it definitely taught me a lot. I learned a lot of things. Some would say I might have wasted some time. Sure, maybe. But the thing is, like, I'm thankful for the time that I spent because it helps me now when I'm just like certain types of price action and certain types of tape. Like I've seen orders getting taken out in certain ways, levels getting taken out in certain ways, consolidations build up in certain ways. So it gives me some more confluence. It gives me some more, I would say, a little bit more edge in order flow and reading the tape for sure. Right. What's going on, Adira?
Just going to take a look here at META. Meta reportedly looking to power trading to support their AI energy needs. So some AI energy related story here for META to send you back to Joe and Obi.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, that's what I used to do for, I wouldn't even say my first 2.5 years of trading. I would literally, bang, there's a fill right there, Assassino. Brother, as Tesla is continuing to climb a little bit higher, my friend, Assassino, I know you haven't bought anything just yet. Do you see anything that you find attractive at these prices to add into your portfolio, brother? Because we're talking about discounts here. So if there's any specific names, you let me know ASAP and I shall relay. He doesn't have anything just yet. He doesn't have anything just yet. But no, in all seriousness, guys, when I first started out trading with my prior platform, what I would do is I would sit through the whole entire session, obviously throughout the day, and then with the privilege of having a beautiful replay, is that I would literally I would give myself the ability to watch two sessions in one day by just going back and watching the previous one and executing and just working on potential entries and exits and refining your system. So I did that for a long period of time. I would sit there for hours and hours on end and just literally watch full 2 sessions. For a while, I was doing it at 1x OB, and then I'm like, okay, I mean, we're banking some saddle time here, some seed time, but we wanted to start to pick things up, and me too myself, considering I don't have that platform anymore, I don't do it as often as I used to, but I make sure that in the evening time when I do head home, whether it's a little bit early to let the dog out or in the evening, I sit down, I go over the options activity, bring you guys some of the interesting stuff, and I go through some price action and entries and exits, and just try to find ways to get a little bit better. I think that's what you have to do. Even if it's a 1/10% a day, that accumulates over time, and that's what we talk about. What is it, 10,000 hours
for mastery,
or something to master something? I mean, I think it's slightly more difficult when something is ever so changing, like from a day-to-day basis, like the market is. No one day is the same, but there is similarities, and it's our job to learn to take advantage of that. He is a Dachshund, my friend, or some people call him Dachshund, whatever, tomato, whatever you're cool with. But yeah, that guy is he's my best. When they say your dog is your best friend, man, it's hands down. The guy don't give me any trouble. We go throw the ball together at the park. He loves it. He chases the squirrels and all that stuff. So yeah. That's my guy right there for sure. But yeah, other than that, guys, man, we're just printing up here. I mean, in a $15 name, you're almost catching $1 here in TSLL. A solid recovery here in the overall market in a lot of these bigger names. So a big time move in Tesla, and we're just happy to put on these trades for you. Both Obi and I, Obi putting on some good numbers as well too. So
yeah, for sure, man. I think another thing that I want to go back with the tape, rewatching back tape. So when you watch it in sped up tape, right, and you watch it over and over again, you watch specific moments. Here's a life hack, guys. When you come into the market real time, do you know how slow that tape looks relative to what you're used to watching? If you've been watching key moments in tape over and over again at 1.5, 2 times the speed, and you get used to watching that. I remember coming into the day and be like, oh my God, this tape is so slow, but this would be probably one of the best moves on the day. Right?
Yeah.
Life hack for that. You got to build that perception, build that ability to kind of, eventually your subconscious starts picking up on things on the tape that you can't even pick up consciously, and then you're like, okay, those are the signals I might want to work with in areas that I know are kind of key as well. So that's kind of what I like to do. Sometimes I'm just like, I really trust in the power of the subconscious because it definitely has the ability to evaluate a lot more data real time than you can consciously. So building that gut feel over time is definitely something that I've been working on, and I will continue definitely to work on until the end of my days for sure. But Nvidia, with a little bit of a wick shimmy dance of that 180, that came in real hot, slams right back in. I'm like, all right, if you're going to pull back into 180 like that, I'm taking a little bit more here. So price action, let's see if we can get that 179 VWAP I have here at 178. I don't know if we're going to go all the way down there. The market has been reverting pretty nicely, but again, supply, I called it out before, we've been having a little bit of demand in this area, and demand we did have all the way back into the top of the range. Now the question becomes, are we ready to break out? The ES is definitely kind of pushing, but the Nasdaq, not just yet, but pushing up into that 24,300. The question now becomes, are we going to see some more supply like we have here coming into the opening session, maybe a little bit here in this area roughly, and then right coming in into the open as well. We got some aggressive selling in and around this area once again. So that's the stuff I have on watch. Nothing else really, man. Nvidia is the belle of the ball. I know that there are a lot of other names happening here as well. I did have a bunch of names on my morning watch list. MSTR was one of them, and MSTR, the short off of the open was great. The reversion is happening right now. And another one, Walmart, absolute strength from yesterday. Let's see how that one is holding up as of right now here as well. Let me pull up the chart. Walmart, yesterday, while the whole market was kind of, blood red, Walmart was holding its own pretty well. Today, distinctly different. We break some of those levels. We get back through the closing prices. We get back through some of this consolidation that pretty much lasted yesterday for over 6 hours. Ooh. So that low might be a little significant, and that was 106s, currently trading at 105s. Walmart with a little bit of a day two earnings backside move here. Some reversion happening. Let's see how far it can get. Market was weak yesterday, market is strong today, and Walmart seems like it's been distinctly different both days coming in.
All right, sorry, I tried sending it. Yeah, I know you guys were asking for pics, so I sent Assassino a couple with him in his dog costume, or yeah, I guess his Halloween costume that we got it in. Man, oh man, it's funny because I guess your parents used to do that, humiliate you when you were younger. But there goes Tesla, guys, man, continuing to climb a little bit higher, Obi. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit more of a recovery here on the day. But at any point, things can obviously, the script can flip. Look at the S&P go. We're going to go over the top performing sectors here momentarily. So there goes the SPY. We'll look at XLF right now before we do. And this is skyrocketing right now up to $51 in XLF. Help drag the SPY significantly higher than what we see in the Nasdaq. We've broken through the pre-market highs, and right now we're struggling a little bit on the triple Qs. Tesla 400, you're telling me, my friend, but XLF is that individual today. There it goes. I'm going to post up at 16s here because it's the type of way that I'm feeling right now. I guess shout out to, or rest in peace, I guess I should say, rich homie Quan there. But yeah, you know who that is?
A little bit.
No,
I'm not,
okay,
I'm not too familiar with his whole discography, but I definitely know who he is.
Okay, I know what Darren most definitely does.
He definitely has some bangers.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was pretty good for a while, and I think he's our age as well too, Obi. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do, top performing sectors of the day. Let's take a look at what we got going on as Tesla is continuing to grind higher. So happy to put that one on for you folks. Wow, look at across the board, a whole lot of green. The inverse of the Playboy Cardi album there, Adara as well too. So 2.65% in the materials up today. Leading the way in second place, we have the healthcare as well, up 2 1/5. And then the consumer discretionary, just a little bit under 2%, 1.99 to be exact. And then we have the communication service up 1.6%. But at the bottom of the list, even though still holding on to green, guys, we have the tech sector up 1/3%. Utilities in that second last place up 0.4. And then the energy sector up 0.6, closer to 7 there, guys. So not too bad of a look across the board. Materials leading the way, as I mentioned before. Let's take a look at how we've been performing on the overall week in these major averages. With the Nasdaq leading the way to the downside, down 2.68% on the week, that is, guys. Dow Jones sitting in that second last place, down 2.4%. And then we have the SPY as well, too, down 1.7%. With the IWM, surprisingly so, only down 0.5% here, Obi. So not too bad of a look whatsoever. Still slightly negative on the week overall, my friend.
Yeah, I'm watching this 180, man. The consolidation and a churn here in 180 is pretty aggressive, and rightfully so. It's a bit of a key level from the morning session, and we're getting some crazy tape action both ways. Buyers and sellers definitely churning it around as the market pushes even higher here. There's the Nasdaq catching up to the ES, so we might actually get this push here on Nvidia through that 180.40s consolidation high here as we push a little bit higher. I know I'm sitting a little bit short here, but I'm gonna wait. I'm being patient. Definitely. Again, we talk about having more shots in the mag, more shots in the chamber for a potential move here. We're pulling up into this supply zone as the market kind of pushes up. So I'm just waiting and watching. More than willing to kind of lose on this trade. But where's the next trade? That's what I'm asking after this one's done. Right now I'm very, very focused here in and around this 180 as we chop and churn a little bit of a 20, 30, 40 penny chop both ways on Nvidia in and around this 180. There's some top wick action happening here. 4 minutes left on the 15-minute candle to print. What is the open on Nvidia for this 15-minute candle? It's 179.66. Okay, all right, cool. Seems like we're probably going to close green then. Very, very likely. We've been reverting, right? We've been reverting pretty nicely off of the lows. Prior bar high break has given us strength and only strength all the way back to VWAP, now back to 180. The question becomes, are we still strong enough that we push through those 182s, through those 183s, 184s? We have a lot of turbulence from yesterday that is going to be standing in our way here, but the market is stupid strong right now. Absolutely aggressive, breaking through the consolidation high. So the question becomes, are you guys long? There's the break of that 40, 50s incoming now here on Nvidia. So definitely going to be wrong on this one. What do you got going on?
Tesla. Oh my days, yeah, I mean, there it goes, man. We're posted up at 16s. We're almost going to catch that fill right there. Let's get this out of the way, and boom, another move up there. A couple more pennies, guys. We'll keep an eye on the tape to see what it is, and look at the clean flushes to the downside. So some aggressive moves right there, and they're not overly reactive when we get those flushes on the bid. We can do quote highlight, but considering it's a lower price stock, we have to significantly increase this, so let's get that going. We'll start off with 5,000. So yeah, that's not even enough right there, guys. Let's ooh, whoa, we don't want that many. Let's go 10,000 just to see what we got. Bang, and there it goes, an additional fill. So you see it clear up a little bit, but still, you want to focus on what Tesla is actually up to. XLF is on an absolute monster tear, and there goes the Nasdaq punching through 590, heading towards 590.56, and there it goes, a big time move in the overall market being led by the likes of NVDA, heading a little bit higher and higher there, guys. What's Microsoft up to? Did I get anything in my ear there, Assassino? Sorry, I didn't hear anything. No, we're good to go. Okay, cool. No worries. What's Microsoft been up to here on the day, Obi? It's not quite where the Nasdaq is, but not too bad whatsoever as you're continuing to slowly grind back towards the volume-weighted average price, my friend. I'm almost out of shares there on, I have one out left essentially on TSLL. We'll hold on to this, but not too bad of a trade whatsoever as we're continuing to grind higher here in the overall market, guys.
Yeah, this straight bids, man. Absolute strength here. So yeah, Nvidia definitely pulling up into some prior levels here. This was that consolidation high from yesterday as well. 180.70s. Here we are, 180.70s. I'm definitely giving this a little bit wider than I should be. But again, this price action is very, very choppy. It's, like I said before, it's wiping 30, 40 pennies both ways. So I definitely want to give it some room to kind of work here. But if we're going to revert all the way back through the open, then yeah, for sure. I definitely don't want to be here anymore, but this is absolute strength here. Look at these green candles. Look at the length and the magnitude of some of these candles going into and through the day highs on the Nasdaq and the ES. So, yep, 181s. Here we go on Nvidia. What do you guys got going on? You're still in that Tesla
Yeah,
long.
still in it, buddy.
Great,
I don't
great
have
stuff.
much left. To be
Absolutely
honest with
solid.
you. Yeah. So other than that, man, Tesla's doing pretty good. We're not going to complain about it whatsoever. So, yeah. Well, I'm just saying it's something you get. The people ask for, the people get. At the end of the day, as things. I don't know why I'm setting that casino. I guess I could just show them here myself at the end of the day. But maybe you can pull them up on the screen there for us whenever he has a moment. On my, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, let's do that there. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that, man. The people ask, let's get the little guy going here. This is him begging for food. Yeah, how do you deny this, man? At the end of the day,
he's so much bigger now.
Yeah, he's big now, man. He's getting big. Look, this is embarrassing. He hates his Halloween costume over there. No. Yeah, I've got him in the little tiger suit. You know what I mean? And there he is out in the grass playing. Majestic animal right there, guys. What a handsome devil. This is him refusing to walk as he tends to do. No treats, no walking. So we have a fair deal. He gets treats, he walks. And then we correlate that with that, obviously. Having a little bit of fun here on the Friday. So there it is. That's baby Miley right there. Yep, cool. All right, guys. We're sending it off to Adara with Happening Now.
Okay. All right.
Let's take a look here at what the market's done so far today, guys. Here is the Nasdaq. This one making a nice base around that 581 level and just pushing higher. We're up 1% right now today. Doing a nice reversion of the reversion action we had happening yesterday. Of course, with this, yesterday we had that buying to selling action. Today, some selling early on pre-market and also in the morning, and then now some buying. I do have to talk about some strength in these health sectors, especially Eli Lilly today becoming the first healthcare name to surpass $1 trillion market cap. This one trading at all-time highs, even as other stocks do tend to dwindle, specifically in the tech space. Now, what led to this recovery starting pre-market? Let's talk about it because it does have to do with the Fed, specifically Fed's Williams. He is bottom row center here. He's been talking quite a lot lately, Fed's Williams. Fed's Williams this morning saying, contrary to a lot of what his Fed colleagues have been saying, that he actually does see that we could get a near-term rate cut. And he said that actually, despite some stalling as of late, the way that we're progressing with inflation improvements, we could potentially get that cut in 2020, or sorry, not that cut, 2% interest rate inflation goal by 2027. Let's talk here about GAP. GAP has been on watch, earnings day one. Here is a look at what we were expecting from this report. They did have a double beat here, and net sales growing on a year-over-year basis, comp sales. So it was a strong report there from GAP. You can find out the recap of this report on our X at TTV Research, where you can find a lot of fun infographics related to the market. WeBull is another one to keep an eye on here for earnings day one. INTU, ESTC, VFS, so tons of earnings day one plays on watch, guys. Before we send you back or over to Neil, in his lesson of the day, we're going to take a moment to thank our friends at Origenics because, guys, each year, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., but there's still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Origenics, OGEN, is changing that with its first in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Origenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more. Schedule a meeting today. Thank you to Origenics, and let's go over to Neil and his lesson.
Welcome, everybody. Learn from yesterday. That's what you should always do, and that's the lesson of the day. And, well, I said this a bunch this morning, and I do that to hammer it home to myself more than anything else. If I get repetitive, a lot of times it's just I'm trying to hammer something home myself because there was some opportunities yesterday that I did not take for some trend breaks. Like the long early on was pretty good in yesterday's morning. Like you could have had some really good scalp trades, but you see what happened when the trend broke. So I came in with the mentality that if there were distinct trends that broke, I was just going to take them because ultimately that would lead to the bigger moves. And as you can see, like look what happens when the down trend breaks. Like I can do it either way. I can make it a channel, I can do whatever. But when it breaks, look at the up move. It's the same thing as, it was a good short this morning. But that turns, it's just better. Like unless you're in multiple times taking that short into the low of the day, like that's just 10 times out of 10 trend break gonna be better. I could put up, a lot of stocks that show you that. It's happen to look at the Qs because that's the most simple thing. But the other thing I mentioned yesterday is you have to be somewhere or on something to know that you wanted to take advantage of it. And there were 2 points. Like one of them, someone was like, Neil, why would you short GameStop? It's at the lows. And on the higher time frame, I agreed with that. Like, yeah, GameStop's at the lows, but the market was trending down. It broke a trend to the upside. So to me, I'm taking all trend breaks. Like Bitcoin was falling at the moment, so I'm taking all trend breaks, looking for the follow through. And if we fall for the rest of the day, then we get a trend down. But this plays both ways. Because what happened after 11 o'clock? The mistake I made yesterday, and you heard me say it loud and clear, was I was unwilling, if I was short something, in the case of yesterday, if I was long something, I wasn't just going to take that trend break after 11 o'clock during lunchtime. Like I just got out of longs and was too late to get into the short. So today, what I said was that's not going to be the case. Even if I'm in a trade that's working and a trend that's working, and I favor that direction, if we get a distinct break of the trend, I'm reversing it because that was better. Like whatever your longs were yesterday, that reverse was better. So in my mind was, even if I'm in a short that I believe in, if that same thing looks like it's happening, the long could be better. So don't just get out, stop order, get out, punch long. And so the thing about it, it's easy to say things like, this is what I should do. And I said this yesterday, I said it this morning, it's another thing to actually do it, right? And oftentimes, and you guys watch this show a lot, like the number of times that I will get out of a trend short or a trend reversal long and flip in the other direction is near zero. Like I don't. Like I'll take the short, I get out where I get out. I'll take the long reversion, get out where I get out. But I won't go from short reversion to long reversion. I think I've maybe done it 2 or 3 times literally this year. But today, I told myself I have to do that today because of what I saw yesterday, specifically because of what we saw yesterday that had to be in the plan of action. So there are certainly times where when there's outsized opportunities, you have to take a shot. Now, don't get me wrong. I can show you this, and there's a couple of sides to the coin, right? Like I happened to get GME because it happened to be the thing that I was on, but I did swing and miss on the trend break in Intel. Like when Intel broke the trend, I didn't get my punch. Now, part of the reason why I didn't get in Intel, I had just jumped out. I wasn't short this one. I was short GME. So therefore, when the trend broke, I flipped in the thing that I was on. But I wasn't short Intel in that moment. But again, this is the lesson learned. Had I been still short this crazy bottoming tail candle, there was a big buyer at 33, so I jumped out. And at that moment, like things were kind of calming down, and I was like, okay, well, let's just move on to the next. If it confirms this, I'll probably just go into the short again, but I didn't like what I saw at 33. Let's go to the next stock. And GameStop was making the move at the same time. So I had to address GameStop because that was working, that was going at that same moment. But it's the opportunity here, knowing what you're looking for because of what happened yesterday. This was the trend break in the morning. I was long on this trend. I refused to flip short yesterday. But that told me, gotta flip in GameStop, gotta flip wherever I can because that's the type of market we're in. No matter how good this short could have been, if you took it more times than just the 2 times I did great, look at that turn and look at that curl. The market can tell you sometimes that we're in it's a certain style of market, right? You can have an overly trending market where we just hold the trend all day long. You can have a barcoding market. We have a crazy reversal market right now where you'll be going one way for a little bit and all you know what will break loose when we lose that trend. A lot of stocks are having that profile. So you're sitting there waiting for it to happen, and wherever you might be in that moment, at that moment in the turn, you gotta have something in the other direction. At least be looking for it. And sometimes it'll be, like I'll give you an example, like sometimes it'll be, oh, what is Palantir doing? And a C plus or B plus trade will come in for myself on Palantir. Like, oh, Palantir broke trend here, but that's when I'm trading GameStop. And I'm like, oh shoot, Palantir to VWAP. Can I get Palantir to VWAP? And I looked over, I'm like, okay, is there a trade into VWAP? and I see 151, resistance, resistance. Okay, I can take this bar break. I didn't get in here because I was trading GameStop, but do I have a trade into VWAP? And very quickly, 151, I can take that break. The candle opens clean at 151 and breaks this prior bar high. I can just jump into that trade with a tight stop and scalp it into the volume weighted average price. Why? Because I know I'm looking longs now. So all I have to see is like a rudimentary setup and I'm good to go. And that's, to me, the process of knowing what you're looking for, and then being a little bit more aggressive, even if it's a scalp trade, being a little bit more aggressive because you know you're looking at a bit of a turn. So I can hold on to one, I can scalp the other, whatever it might be. But when you're in a style of market, a certain style of market, you want to pay attention to those cues. And because we've been seeing these crazy reversals, you got to be looking out for it. It's great to ride the trend one way, but it's even better if you get quick and rapid, as long as it took us to get down there. And I'm just gonna, again, like I have to use Intel as the example. Like I have to show the example of the one I didn't get, not the ones I did. Because as good as it might have been in one direction, when it flips and it's shown you how crazy it can be in the other, in the back of your mind, you have to be looking for that kind of a move today. And you know, if you're not, that's not your style. It is what it is. But if you do like reversals and reversions, or you do like support and resistance is kind of like trend breaks as well, because you trend into support and then you break away from it. If you're that style of a trader, you got to have these. So whether you got 1, 2, 3, whatever it might be, yesterday taught us that there was an opportunity for this kind of a move today. Do I think it'll move as much to the upside as we did to the downside? No, and I said that several times this morning. But you still can have it happen. And for those that were loving GameStop this morning, congrats to all of you. To me, it was just a technical trade on the reversal. I can't say I'm a believer, but there were some that were hollering it's at a support level. Well, the other thing is if you like the long, you can just wait for a setup. You could have been doing nothing while the short was working and waited for it to break that trend. So make sure you are paying attention to the type of market that you were in from a stylistic point, because it can help you hunt out the types of winners that you're trying to make you a little more aggressive to flip directions potentially, and be open to both sides of the trade, right? Like if you're a day trader or a short-term trader, being married to the market's gonna go in one direction, I'll be honest with you, it doesn't work really in any long-term sense. Like, before we go back, I just thought of something that I don't think I've ever said this, but it's actually a really good point. I've been trading for like over 20 years. And what I can tell you is this. I cannot remember a single trader who was consistently profitable in the morning being like, this is the direction the market is going to go, and then only trading in that direction. I've seen traders that are like that. I'm talking on equities, I should say. Yes, you know, it's even true on futures, because when Arun was making money on futures consistently, he was never married to a certain direction. So even that as well. It was never about that. Like they could have a theory about certain price levels and how we behave off of that price level and certain existing trends, but that's different from the markets going down. I'm just gonna only be short today. And then only doing that, right? You have to have, just like you say in the wire, right? You gotta have some flex to you. Right? If you're going to be on the corner, you got to have some flex, you know. And Naaman had that flex. If you watch the wire, you know what I'm talking about, and that's why he was able to survive. He was a bit of a punk, but he certainly had that flex, and that's what Bunny Colvin saw in him. And so you have to have that flex in the market as well. The ability to be open to, hey, I thought the market was going to be a short, but if this happens, I have to be willing to go long. Maybe it's on certain stocks. I only long a certain stock, or I look for a certain set. So be open to that as well. So you get 2 for 1, a couple of lessons of the day here. Good luck, everybody. We got a green market. The real question is, do we have a 2% day in us? Because most days that move have been 2%. Can we get another? That's the question. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you very much, Neil. Great lesson there, and yeah, flexibility for sure, man. You got to be able to go, both ways, long and short. And I saw some people in the chat talking about that as well. I love that conversation. We can continue that right after we get back from Madeira.
Keep an eye here on some of these healthcare names, including Pfizer and Merck. Here is PFE MRK looking almost identical. FDA clearing Merck's Keytruda and Pfizer's Padcev combo for the cisplatin ineligible muscle invasive bladder cancer treatment. So again, cisplatin ineligible MIBC getting 2 more treatments cleared from MRK and PFE from the FDA. Back to you.
Good stuff. Let's press. Oh, okay. I was gonna read something. Right? Party P, man. I was gonna read that out loud, but I cannot do that here. Let's see. Wearing red today. Oh yeah, I know Gorev. Yeah, I mean it started out the day red, but a nice reversal. She's playing that reverse psychology on the market, so it's just wear the red and then it goes green at the end of the day, right? This is basic.
Sometimes you gotta mix it up a little bit.
You gotta. It's all about the.
Sometimes you gotta mix it up. I was gonna say
mental warfare.
The Adara indicators worked pretty well. So that's just like, okay, well, I'm just asking, who are the whales that are watching watching the show here?
Who are the whales?
Who are the whales? Who are the market movers? I was talking about this earlier. I was like, yeah, maybe end goal is to be 15% of all market volume and just trade from your basement. That's the biggest flex.
What is that? What'd you say?
I said be 15% of all market volume, but just be trading from your basement. That's the biggest flex, right?
Imagine just being that type of
Imagine
whale.
being that guy. I don't know. I'm sure there's guys that move significant portions of the market that are not like they work their own business, right? They're not necessarily tied up to a firm or any sort of kind of entity like that. But you know, it's interesting to think about. Some of the best players, obviously, they're not going to show face, right? It doesn't make sense to do that. But
do you remember we were talking about it the other day? I think Sharif and I. Do you remember the movie V for Vendetta?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Great movie. What was I about to do here? Oh yeah. Oh, we want to take a look at the options chain here and see what we got going on.
That 180?
Yeah. What do you want? What name do you want? I'll let you pick.
Well, we'll go 180. I want to see how 180s are going to close.
On AMD. On AMD.
On AMD. You want specifically AMD?
No, I was asking you what ticker do you want?
Nvidia.
NVDA. Okay.
Nvidia,
yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking about as well too. So. 180.
Here we go.
There is a little bit of a supply zone there, Opie, with 42,300 contracts, almost 250,000 traded on that specific level as well too. But what we do have is this call wall still sitting up at that 200 level and slightly starting to grow in size as well too, guys. So 200, you're not collecting anything right now. Obviously, it's 0 DTE. It's the only way you can trade 0 DTE on some names is on Fridays. So there's 137 contracts with 19,000 traded. But what we can do is head over to that next expiration cycle to see if that size has dwindled or started to slowly become smaller, but that doesn't seem to be the case whatsoever. So 121,000 contracts still on the November 28th expiration cycle. So I'm going to be looking at this as a potential supply zone and a resistance, aka a ceiling here in NVDA. Now, can we see anything from a definitive floor base? Look how much substantially larger the open interest is on the call side than what it is on the put side. And you'll typically see that unless there's an insane imbalance in which we experienced over the past couple of days. But volume and OI on the puts have really started to cool off. Now, one thing to do, I think, so what is it? We're trading at 179 right now, so 180 OB roughly. What is it? What are these cash secured puts paying over here at 170? I mean, this is my language right here. If you have the capital available, guys, writing these 170s, collecting $200 per contract combination, and if you're looking to go in a little bit more size, I know someone was asking me about going NVDA, and I know Neil and Sean were talking about this yesterday, but I was on the phone dealing with the bloody airlines around here. But pardon me, yeah, I was on the phone with the airlines. Yeah.
Oh, so we thought you might have been liquidating your crypto portfolio because you're just like
Lima.
Just reading out phonetic alphabet, and I was like, something's happening. You know?
Yeah, I had to tell them my booking number and reference and everything like that, and they wanted it in the military alphabet. But yeah, other than that. In all seriousness, but that's what I was on the phone and dealing with it again this morning as well too. These buggers, man, they'll strip you of every dime if they possibly can. But there it is, 170. You're going to be collecting 171 bucks. Wow, what a coincidence! I think that's written in stone right there. Regardless, If it doesn't come anywhere close to 170 what, then hit, as are you busy? Oh no, he's not busy right now. Hit the congratulations, because I don't have that. You get to keep $170, and then you can do it again. Bang, except for that's Bitcoin, which I don't know about that one so much. But cash secured puts in NVDA, I think are gonna be a solid video. I know Ramin and I are gonna do a little content later. Maybe we do something on how to get a specific stock, aka Nvidia, at the price that you want via options. How does that sound, Ramin? I don't know where you are or what you're doing right now, but I've already come in. I thought about it last night, and then we're gonna rock and roll with it possibly today. Obi, talk to me.
Yes, sir. So, guys, I got some special news, some exciting news, and it's coming out of Canada for those of you who are sophisticated traders on this stream. Beta Pro by Global X Canada, Canada's largest provider of leveraged inverse and inverse leveraged ETFs, has just launched 6 triple leverage ETFs offering 3 times bull and bear exposure to the S&P TSX 60, semiconductors, and on US Treasuries. Even better, they're offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st of 2025. That's only a month away, guys. Plus, the US-focused strategies use a currency hedging, which offers the potential for pure performance and exposure. So if you are a tactical and sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca/3xdaily to learn some more. All right, so this Nvidia, this 180, thank you for pointing that out. Some supply sitting at that 180 Nvidia. I kind of recognize it as a bit of a key level in the morning session there. And as you guys know, before we pass it off to Neil for his lesson of the day, I was sitting short in that Nvidia looking for that 180 to kind of pull back into. And I was like, all right, this thing looks like it's gonna blast. We were talking about 170s. Guess what? I got a little bit aggressive, mischief managed. Sometimes you gotta work with the price action. Sometimes you gotta do the dance, do the tango, right? And you gotta be able to do that in a little bit of an effective way without running yourself over. And I think, that 180 looked a bit interesting. I'm like, we're still not done printing that 180, even if we're trending up within this trend and continue this kind of range in this uptrend. I thought the probability of printing 180s was pretty high again. So you know what, that comes in once again, a little bit of a sideways chop here. I covered when it first broke back below that 180, kind of taking losses on those initial entries and then breaking even on some of them and then making on the last few there. But that 180 just wanted to hold it. That's not what I wanted to see. That aggressive selling, I liked it. I got involved until that kind of came in, and I did kind of slam in when that 181 failed to follow through, just pulling it back in, and then 180 became even more interesting to me. Once it reclaims 180 and it can't even get through, I think it got through pretty low. Let's see what that low was. We got down to the 179.80s, 179.70s-ish, 179.80s, and then rips right back up. I'm like, all right, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, if those sellers step in, I want them to continue stepping in right away. Sure, it's not going to be that ideal all the time, but relative to the position that I was kind of managing, I was a little bit underwater on those initial shares. I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to bring it. Let's see. I think the probability of printing 180 is high. So when and if it does come in, I do have to make a decision there whether I still want to make or still want to keep that position or not. The market is still consolidating at its highs here. That last 15-minute candle was about, 7.5 minutes ago, because we have about half of this candle left to print, but that was a doji on both markets. So a little bit of indecisiveness after 1, 2, 3 aggressively strong bars, which have been expanding in range relative to what happened down here. You can see sellers step in, step in, step in. Look at how tight those open and closes of some of those 15-minute candles get. That indicates to me that, selling pressure is dissipating. Maybe buyers are meeting up with some of those sellers. That momentum is definitely slowing down, even if it is for the moment, for that specific candle. We're seeing maybe some more of the same happening here, as that is an aggressive slowdown. You have the long bar, maybe a shorter bar, maybe a 3-bar pattern there. You get that long leg, maybe tighter consolidation, and then a leg again that breaks through those highs, and then now we're consolidating once again. So don't know what to do with that information, but I'm kind of waiting and patient for the next trade. And the 180, still interesting to me here on Nvidia. Amazon, we were talking about Amazon being a potential mover, and that's pushing up through its highs as of right now as well. So Amazon, I forget who it was in the chat, they were saying they like the Amazon long as it was kind of chopping sideways. You know what? Maybe that was a good idea. Maybe that was a good idea because relative to everything else, Amazon was pretty tight in its range. So it gave you the ability to go either way. You could have had either bias, long or short, and it gave you a tight range to risk off of. So if you liked the long, especially on the false break, look at that. When you zoom into this, these are 3-minute candles. When you zoom into this, this was a double bottom here. Double bottom, 215.30s, 215s and some change. We get a false break of that double bottom, and that is where that bid steps right back in. So if you were watching this for a potential long, and we talk about recording the tape as well, I'm pretty sure, I can probably bet on it, that the tape in and around here was distinctly different than that of here and here, maybe, or kind of coming into that area, so stepping right back in. So that demand comes right back in, and then being different such that it takes us to VWAP, takes us through the opening range highs, and then continuation through pre-market highs as well on Amazon. So that's kind of the story that I saw there, or that I can see there that panned out on Amazon. What do you got going on for us, Joe?
All right, brother. For too long, trading meant risking your own money or never having enough to start. The fear of losing, that's what kept so many traders on the sidelines. But that's changing. Trade the Pool is transforming how traders access the markets. With its limited risk trading model, traders use funded capital while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside. This allows traders to focus on what truly matters: discipline, consistency, and growth. When you hit the profit target, you keep 70% of the profits. No fear, no barriers, just real opportunity. This is the revolution of limited risk trading, powered by Trade the Pool. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now to get 10% off your first evaluation. All right, guys. Well, I posted up here OB at 1580 for a potential pullback and a retest of the volume-weighted average price in Tesla, but we're not getting that right now. We're taking that additional leg higher. Solid consolidation, about 10-15 minutes or so, and then you decide to take that and put in a new 5-minute high and heading towards some key pre-market highs, which is going to be a key level, because if we break that, we can most definitely continue to climb a little bit higher. So now we're sitting around 401.01 on Tesla, and I mean, we're long at 1506 here on TSLL, now trading at 1622, so not too bad of a look, but it's still full steam ahead on the SPY, guys, and the Nasdaq sitting on top of pre-market support resistance levels, acting as potential support, which I think is a really key thing to note. And there it is, 657. Punch through like it was no tomorrow, like a hot knife through butter, and then sure enough, continuing to climb a little bit higher, recovering a little bit of our, a nice chunk of our losses from yesterday. Anyways, what is that next zone that we want to look for? I think this might be a little bit of a stretch on today's session, but I wouldn't put it past this market. 667 could be totally in the works as well too. But this is what I was referring to earlier. I forget what the range was, but we had these drawn and we're like, hey, this is some good stuff for Condor trading. I think it was like 630s or something along those lines, and then the high of around there. And you establish that Condor when you have this range-bound market where you're not necessarily going up, going down, but you have all these overlapping candles, daily candles that is. So, and you're still stuck within this range right here, which is a pretty good gauge. So a nice engulfing print on that front. Let's see what the Qs are up to as well, too, guys, to see what if that's heading into some key zones. I mean, this level might be in the works for today, and then I think this could be in, because you can see we have multiple touches, so something that was acting as prior support can most definitely come in as resistance, and I think these are obtainable throughout the session. So 592.86 up to 594. If we're going to have a nice recovery rally here, I think those can be in the works for sure. But if not, just be cautious, right? You want to take one step at a time, and we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, considering we're still down essentially from yesterday's session there, Obi.
For sure, man. I'm just reading the chat here. I want to know what you guys are trading, because I got nothing on watch here other than Amazon. Funny enough, I pull up that Amazon because people were talking about it in the chat, and I was like, okay, well, maybe this is a reversion here, because we're just kind of rejecting prior day's consolidation highs here. So you can see consolidating in the morning session, puke, breakdown of that session low, grind throughout the midday session, and going into the end of the day, another range. So range, leg, range, maybe a little bit of a different pattern than leg, range, leg that we normally see, but interesting action nonetheless here. We're coming right back into this zone where Amazon could not bid back above going into the end of the day, and then closed at the low of day. So maybe some supply there from yesterday. potentially, right? Comes right back into this beeline into that area of supply from yesterday and catching a little bit of a sell-off. So this, in my opinion, kind of high probability, especially if you're watching the tape, for a little bit of a pullback. Now, I don't know if this is going to revert all the way back down to VWAP, all the way back down to other structures, but sure, if you're watching the tape, you're watching some of the action happen and the flow is confluencing with your trade idea, you can maybe definitely take that scalp out. But I do always kind of like to look at a stock when it's coming into an area of support and resistance that is especially recent. So yeah, definitely, you know, a recency bias definitely coming a little bit into play there, but definitely a good place to watch. Because if it was there yesterday, I like to keep it simple. If it was there yesterday, then is it there again today? If there were sellers there at a given point, are they going to be there again? Now we see that concept hold over and over again. It's the same kind of concept about supply and demand. If we talk about AMD, there were sellers. Maybe people unwinding positions. Guess what? VWAP sellers were very, very adamant on AMD. You can see that every time it got up to VWAP in the morning session, it kind of got knocked right back down. So sellers very, very dominant. So more of the same here, distinctly different because the market picture had already changed as well. So this, again, a little bit of discretion or maybe some perspective there. The conditions on the environment of the market is distinctly different on this retest of VWAP versus when it was over here on the tests of VWAP coming in off of the open where the market was aggressively being sold off. So you obviously have to confluence and layer some of those factors onto your ideas to give you some more conviction and also, I wouldn't say skew, but build probabilities in or against your favor, right? So that's what I like.
You want to build probabilities against your?
No, if the price action is building against you or with you, right? I feel like those are the places to kind of watch.
Obi.
Those are the things to kind of consider.
Obi, what kind of BS is this?
Oh no. Huh? Oh no, not again.
Please.
Not another one.
Not another one.
Not another
one.
You have the option to like and subscribe. This trade has unlimited upside.
All right, man. Listen, it's not even for me. It's for Obi. It's for Neil. It's for Dara. It's for Assassino working in the back.
It's for the whole team.
For Fabian. It's for literally. That's all it is. I'm not even asking it for me. I'm asking it for everyone else around me. Let's get that to 1,000 guys. We're not even 40% on the way there. Thank you for stepping in. It was me. I did not hit the like. Jag, brother, you know I accidentally block people on this thing, right? No, I honestly do. Cobb the Kid, I'm sorry, you're back in play. I did not mean to block you yesterday. And Jag, I would never.
Were you blocked Jag?
No. Cobb the Kid, yeah, Trap, man, you better not forget, brother, because people don't forget at the end of the day. Don't block people. Thank you. Thanks, Jody. But no, yesterday I blocked our guy, Cobb the Kid, and I didn't mean to. I truly didn't mean to, and it's happened to me a couple times when I've done it. So, yeah, I apologize. I'll let you know intentionally. Chris Savage, I blocked 5 of his accounts. Who knows, man? I don't think I have. That was like 8 years ago. Yeah, Trap, man, way to quote that one. Maybe we'll watch that one. Maybe we'll watch that one because that's just a cult classic, man. Who built this wall on NVDA?
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. This is 180, 181.
Yeah, man. We talked about the supply zone. We'll pull it up one more time. Yeah. Joey, you got my like as always. Thanks. Jay Cogni, much appreciated, my friend, and all. I want to see at
least 1,000 likes, guys. Come on, you got to step it up.
Now.
How many viewers do we have right now live?
We 5,000.
5,000. Wow. You're telling me that only 10% of you are liking? Come on.
Right now,
we got to divert away from the Pareto distribution here. Don't give me that 10, 20%. I want to see at least 30, 40, 50%. Come on, guys. Yeah, hit that like at least. We're bringing it to you live.
50%.
Doing it live.
If we get 50% open, we have to bring the people.
We need to revert the like button. A 50% reversion from 0 is what I want. So 2,500 is what I'm expecting.
Okay, at least.
How much time we got?
We got a lot of time.
About an hour and a half.
An hour and a half. If we get to 2,500,
guys.
I don't know. We got to give the people something.
Look at that 181 breakout.
Yeah, I mean there it goes, man. I posted up for a potential reload here on TSLL at 1580s, Obi, but this thing is just continuing to climb up to 1627. So a solid recovery. AMD on the grind as well too. Can NVDA punch through this 181.82 or this 180? 182 level. That's going to be really important. Now we're at 700 almost, guys. Fantastic stuff. Let's get that up to 1,000. I hope everyone's having a good turnaround day considering what we experienced yesterday. Stick to your guns. Rock and roll, CCW, the fam, thank you very much for the look. And Zipper Binder, hopefully you liked and subscribed as well, too. Hi, Ramin, hope everything is going good. Who are we? We're going to Adara? All right, let's go.
Like, subscribe, and join us in the chat, guys, because it's a lot of fun. But we do have to talk here about this market, which is continuing to have some fun to the upside. Some geopolitical updates we know we've heard over the last couple days with regards to a potential easing here of tensions between the U.S. and Russia. Well, now we have Vladimir Putin, of course, leader of Russia, saying that he's ready to continue fighting if there's no agreement with the Ukraine. However, they're also ready for peaceful resolution. So the main point here, Putin says he's ready for peaceful resolution, though, again, if there's no peaceful resolution, he is willing to continue those tensions. Keep an eye on these geopolitical headlines. They can move oil and the overall market. Back to you.
Not holding. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
we're just talking about some, so just reviewing some positions from this morning. It's just like, yeah, like how do I get better at holding my winners, right? You know what I mean? I'm sure you guys asked this question as well. Like trailing your stops, kind of staying with it. Talking about staying with it. Last night, Blue Ocean, I'm just remembering, I'm just like, yeah, I definitely should have stayed with some of the moves that were happening on Blue Ocean last night because it was absolutely crazy the way just momentum kind of takes a hold. And it's a similar kind of a thing here. When I'm in with the momentum, right here, you can see 180 breakdown off of the open on Nvidia was great. But staying with the momentum meant, okay, maybe even getting involved in the pre-market because today is not the day that first day that we sold off. It was yesterday. Today is day 2. So if I'm looking for sellers, maybe getting involved in the pre-market makes a lot of sense, especially if it gives you areas and consolidations to work with, right? So that was kind of orbiting around that 182, and then that cracked in. But here's the thing. Look at that continuation that happens. 180 holds as resistance. VWAP holds as resistance. This low breaks down. Sure, it's a little bit shaky, but if you're getting in and you're building that position here, even if you add into here, you have some room to hold through this chop because ideally you're sitting in and around VWAP or just slightly lower coming into this entry here. And that gives you that secondary puke all the way down to 173s and change. Right? So staying with that, that's something, again, we were talking about that position management. And again, Joe's doing a great job sticking with that TSLL, that Tesla position here, getting in on the entry. That 15 was confluenced with that reversion as well, absolutely solid. And now we're trading $1.30 away from that. So $1.30 on a $15 stock. Great trade, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. It was a great trading across the across the board, man. I think the whole team has a pretty good day, man, and that's what we want to see. Everybody was short yesterday. A lot of people were short yesterday. Some shorts working out this morning as well too. But then we flip long. So Yoda says Yoda. Yeah, exactly. Or Yoda. Which one, my friend? Yoda. Oh, okay. We got a $20. Super chat. Hey guys from South Carolina, US&A. Pour some sugar on me. I need a little luck. Blow kisses for luck. Thanks for all y'all do. No, but Paula always asking for the kisses. So I'm gonna put this one with extra sugar on there, guys. Let's see what I do is here. I dilute the cranberry juice. I told you it's just too much sugar in here. But what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take a little of this sugar from here and send it over to Paula Malone and blow her a couple kisses, some Southern hospitality over there in South Carolina, which one day I want to go. You're not gonna. I
gotta blow a kiss. Come on, man.
Yeah, all right, man. We're not gonna put you on spot.
It's a little too sweet. Are you ready for the sweetness?
I'm ready, man.
I'm not giving you
Paula
one.
Malone is. I don't know what you're talking about. It's not for me. It's for Paula. It's for Paula, my friend.
It's proprietary.
It's proprietary. So he's saving that. Maybe we get that later on in the day.
Thank you for joining.
One more blowing kisses to Paula. Yeah, I know.
Cran only goes with one thing. Yes.
Ramin.
Come on.
That's it. That's my crush. That's my crush. Fellow
Thank you very much for the super chat.
Tim Horns, what's up, Katina, man? Yo. What's up, brother? How was the gym?
Have you analyzed those?
Whoa, would you? I have not analyzed. Were you on phone with the airlines too, or no? Oh, okay. Working on. Oh, yeah. He's calling you already. No, in all seriousness, I think Katina Man was working on his taxes. I think, Joseph, you got all the love you need at home. Yeah, too much cryptocurrency. So, yeah, exactly. Charlie Lima Oscar, 952, obviously joking there. But no, you know what, Smooth J, you never know. You never know at the end of the day what it is. Nice watch, Joe, says Nebula. Thank you. And what is that song for Tory Les? Kiss the Nebulon or something along those lines. So shout out there. Who is it? It's Mike P, Derider, Surfboard P. What's going on, brother? TTV #1 Facts Jack. That is a fact, Jack. And so shout out to all of the individuals. Yeah, Data Robinson, I do, brother. You're not correct. I got a big bundle of love at home for sure within Milo. That is my guy. I mentioned I don't got to go over. I want to show you guys one more picture though. I think it's hilarious of him. I had this one, and when it's windy out, he's like Dumbo. You guys remember Dumbo the elephant?
Look at his floppy ears.
In the wind, when it's really windy, the ears just fly, and I call him Dumbo. And then you got this guy right here. You can't deny whatsoever. So yeah, shout out to him at the end of the day. But Obi,
yes,
you don't got anything on. I'm posted up on some more TSLL. This is our one trade of the day. We'll do a quick trade review. I know we're at that halfway point right now, so we may as well go over a couple of trades. I've taken 4. I've lost on 1, and I bet you can guess which one it is. It's going to be IBIT. One attempt on that eventually did curl over, but I wasn't going to sit through this price action whatsoever. So continued long, continued to climb long, or to crawl higher, I should say. But now we're still negative about 1.4% on IBIT. Google was decent in the mornings, a nice recovery, but as the market was climbing, it started to go oppo for some reason. You thought that a sign of strength would be within Google 100%, but that doesn't seem to be the case. High up there, my stop loss was at the break of this low. This wick isn't genuine, so I had to hold it, and then sure enough, once we punched through VWAP and I seen the tape start to slow down and not the stair-stepping in volume in which I was looking for, I seen that and I got out. But also, I want to note is that with Gaurav, Los Pollos, Jaganite, and a bunch of other VPA volume price analysis traders are looking for, and this is going to be a prime example in Tesla. I know I was trading TSLL, but why did I get out before my break even? I'm going to display it to you right now. And when you see these signals above the volume weighted average price, especially when you're long and you've been sitting in this chair for quite some time, you know that that signal is not good whatsoever, especially at key zones. What is that key zone going to be? The pre-market high, and then we reject it relatively aggressively and then move a little bit lower. So I'm long down here in this realm. We get this move higher, I peace out, I almost get that wick high, but sure enough, I seen that candle printed, and I'm like, I have to listen to what price action is telling me. It can be difficult at times, but when you do, and it works out, you're gonna thank yourself. Oh, hold on. MF, dangerous. I know what he's got going on. MF dangerous, gifting 5 memberships, and who do we got here? Girl Trader getting a membership. Tay2 certified. Your Huckleberry, Matt, Tony, and a couple other individuals getting a membership there. Gaurav, I see your green. I see your green as well there. Mike P, Derider. Yo, MF Dangerous, what's up, brother? I hope you're having a good day, man. It seems like to be the case. Regardless, hey, man, the thought of giving to other individuals just speaks volumes of what type of person you are. And I could just tell from the simple acts of kindness that you are a good, yeah, exactly. Isn't that a movie? Isn't that a movie? Which one? Acts of kindness.
No, I haven't seen it.
I tried one.
That's what I was asking. You
want me to grade it?
Yeah,
okay, hold on. Can you hit the what's for lunch for me or no? All right, cool. We're gonna give it a grade here. No, it doesn't work. No working. No working.
Cool.
Okay, hit it one more time. I gotta give the grade to the thing here.
All right.
Yeah, well, all right, he's putting it in a bone. What's for lunch? All right, so now for one of the hottest segments of the day, it's going to be Jamming with Joe and grading
that segment.
Yeah, we made it up a long time ago, so it's just me rating the lunches. I'm going to give it an honest review.
Nice.
Do you want to give your review, Katina Man, first?
I got some meatballs with some salad and a little bit of pasta salad as well on the side. No, I actually want to hear your rating first.
You want to hear my rating?
Yeah.
I'm honest. I'm an honest person.
You had
What did I
one?
not?
I've had two.
Okay, all right.
So we broke the rules of one bite. Everybody knows the rules. Aside from that, I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Okay.
6.5 on,
Okay.
on 6.5.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
I was around that level actually. I was actually debating between 6 and 7.
All right.
6, 7?
Okay, that's fair.
Oh shit! I mean, no, 5, 6. I mean, I was in between 5 and 6 there because you know what? For a catered meatball, I was saying this to Neil. It's not bad if you're going to mass produce, and it's all right. So it's not no-nuts or anything like that, but it's. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not necessarily homemade, but I'm pretty happy with it. Considering that it could have been disastrous, I'm all good. Just quick update here on trading. I am short. I just sat down. Wrong screen, almost. There it is. Thank you. Ooh, look at these little back and forth. I like the swiping back and forth. Ramin on one today. But no, what about IBIT right here short? I just sat down looking at these levels. So I'm going to take crypto short here just a little, see what's going on. Short IBIT against the high of the day right now. So. Anyways, all good. Hope everyone's having a great afternoon. I now have 20/20 vision apparently, so I won't.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. So we're ready to go.
Must be nice, man.
So thank you.
Yeah, good.
Thank you, everybody. Now I can see the charts clearer now. Okay, bye.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was looking at my phone the other day. I'm like, man, I got to increase the font here. But yeah, no, fair enough.
Dude, so you guys know, I used to have like the other glasses before, much more wider. Those actually broke because I sat on them. I have another pair of the same ones coming in soon enough. But yeah, no, I like my glasses, man. I'm just like full peripheral vision. I have a lot of screens, so I got to pick up on some stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. You've seen my monitors. I'm like, I'm a very visual person, I would say, in terms of like, like reading tape and like, funny colors in patterns on the chart, whatever. But yeah, I think the peripherals definitely come in handy, especially if I'm trying to look at multiple things at a given time. And again, shout out to Adara in the chat for pointing out Eli Lilly. All-time highs. Not only is this all-time highs, these are fresh highs on the week. This is also the point. It hit it yesterday. Eli Lilly is now a $1 trillion market cap company at these prices. So we hit that 1 trillion mark as well on Eli Lilly. So right away, I want to see how XLV is doing because it was just a couple of weeks ago where I was trying to short this thing. I think just last week. A few times we had made this local high on Thursday, November the 13th at 154s, and I think I was shorting XLV multiple times into this range here. But look at that. When I'm not looking, when I guess not a lot of people are looking, and the markets were blood red yesterday, XLV catching an aggressive bid, breaking out of this range. And is this all-time highs on XLV? Let's see. Let's wait and see. Okay, no, close though. 156.26 are those all-time highs. We're currently trading at 155.20. So what was that, Sean?
No, XBI is the biotech.
XBI is the Okay, all right, thank you. So XBI is the biotech one, and that, okay, nowhere near its all-time highs, but look at this strength that's been happening here on the weekly. So yeah, fresh highs for sure on the day today, and a little bit of yesterday's highs is what we're testing. Okay, cool.
Somebody in the chat says they wanna marry you.
Adam DeLuz, who's saying Robert Watson.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Thank you. I appreciate your interest, but I feel like I'm taken. I'm married to the markets.
He's married. Yeah, he's already
married to the markets.
He's married to the market. Way to save that one, my boy.
Married to the
All right, man. Huh? We'll hit that one. We'll hit that one over there. What's up, AD?
Adam DeLuz.
Yeah, what's up, brother? Hey, listen, Obi, Joe. It's nearly 6 here in London. And we are going to hit it hard this weekend, he says. As traders, we love and thrive on volatility. Oh boy, have we had that this week. Indeed. Don't go too hard, because I know how the English over there. I know you guys can get a little rowdy on that.
He's allowed to go hard.
He's allowed to
work hard,
go hard. All right.
Play hard.
Ooh.
That's all it is. That's how I like to live my life as well. The more you know. There you go.
Yeah. Shout out to
work hard, play hard.
DL.
You heard it here first. Have you ever heard that before? I haven't.
Work hard. It's a very, you heard it? Yeah, you heard it.
It's very new. It's a very 2025. It's
I'm
the new.
But if you're living with that motto, I'm pretty sure the WeWork, the old WeWork CEO would say the motto was work somewhat hard, but play significantly harder, which is insane, and hence why he probably is no longer the CEO of that.
E. Williams with the super chat.
What's he saying?
Thank you very much. When is the small cap king coming back? I think he makes his return from his pilgrimage around sometime next week.
Sometime next week. If he survives, man, we're hoping. He hasn't sent any picks, man. What does he do? If he's listening
Where's he at?
right now, listen, we need those beach picks. Sharif, he might be in the background. You never know what he's
Wait, what picks?
Beach.
Okay, I heard feet.
Feet picks.
I'm just like, bro, you're, come on, dude.
Oh my
Come on.
God.
If I were to bet my bottom dollar,
Calm down now.
listen,
First you're asking for kisses, now you're asking
if we're taking bets right now,
This is a family show.
Where Sharif currently is right now, I'm putting my bottom dollar at the gym. He's probably
at the gym.
Yeah, right.
He's on vacation. He's at the gym, at the hotel, or at the resort.
110%. Like I don't miss anything. Like,
dude, I know people like that. Listen, you go to an all-inclusive resort, you stick with your day schedule. In the morning, you hit the gym.
You hit the gym.
Maybe you meet some people at the gym.
I tell you one time. So like full disclosure, in my earlier tour. So when me and my buddies used to go away for New Year's to Mexico. So one morning I decide that I was okay to hit the gym. But what happens is when you hit the gym, your blood starts flowing, and sure enough, the intake of some of the beverages in which you had partaken the previous night starts to revamp once again, and I'm like, what am I doing here? Because it hits you again. It hits you again. I had to get out of there.
So that's why you just gotta have what do they call it? The hair of the dog.
The hair of the dog, man. Oh, remember that? Remember that?
That time? Yeah. We went to hair of the dog. Yeah. That was good. It's good times.
There's a bar.
Good times for sure. Called hair of the dog. Just I guess down the road. Yeah, down the road. But good times for sure. We still haven't done towers, man. We still haven't gone for towers.
I might be retired from the towers, man.
You're retired from the towers?
Too much sugar.
As he drinks the cranberry in front of
me. It's water. It's diluted with water. I fill this up with water.
You do know that the cranberry juice is already they mix like concentrate with water?
Yeah, that's fine, but
there's just dilute it even more.
Yeah, that's the intention.
Dilution in this nation. No, that's liquidation in this nation.
Exactly. That's what I'm aiming at there. Someone said Pedialyte.
Pedialyte. Actually, Pedialyte, life hack, Pedialyte is absolutely solid for as a hangover cure.
Oh, stop
it is literally the best. It's literally the best. Sure, you can take a glass of water, throw some sugar and salt in there, but Pedialyte, it's got everything that you need. Better than those what is it? What are they called? Not energy drinks. Like the Gatorade and the sports drinks, better than the sports drinks, because those are pretty good as well. Those used to be my go-to, and then I realized that just hit up the Shoppers or the Walgreens or whatever, the pharmacy, and get on that Pedialyte, because that does absolute wonders. And if you're lucky, you get the stuff that's already in like mixed with the water, not just the powder pouches.
Dude,
but the more you know.
One time, I just woke up parched, and I'm like, oh man, I'm so thirsty. So I go into the fridge and I grab this just jug of juice, and I'm thinking that it's orange juice, and I'm just chugging it. Oh. It was grapefruit juice, and I just yacked everywhere. I'm like, oh my God. Ramin,
pickle juice is
Someone
also
block
good.
This person right now. So get them out of here. If I could, can I block them? Let me see if I can. I can't. You're lucky. At the end of the day, whoever said pickle juice is insane, and that is absurd, in my opinion. Try Prime, says CR Ramirez. I've never had a Prime, to be honest with you.
Prune juice?
No, Prime.
Prime.
Yeah, like Logan Paul's drink, Prime.
Oh, like the energy drink? I think I've seen that. Okay. I didn't know that was his.
It's coconut water.
Oh, it's coconut water? Okay, cool.
Prime is coconut water?
Okay,
I didn't.
Yeah. Interesting. I didn't know that he did. That's interesting.
Mike G says they are good. Yeah, I mean, back to trading, guys. We'll take a look at the what's IBIT doing. It's tanking a little bit there. Katina man, 48.27. Here comes in Tesla as well too. We're gonna stay posted up at that level there, guys, as the market. Excuse me, you can see that we have that resistance zone. We rejected that pretty aggressively. So you have the V-shaped reversal, and you're coming back in. Same V-style pattern. So nice grab at those highs, Katina man. As we're starting to head a little bit lower, man, Katina man he's chewing his lunch up. I'm starting to get a little bit hungry over here as well. Oh, Katina man, you should have seen the puck.
I'm getting hungry for the next
listen,
trade.
Listen, Katina man, you should have seen the puck I took off the shin last night. I was telling everybody.
Oh no, what happened?
Man. I was telling Mateo. I had, but it just, it's still, my leg is all bruised.
Sounds like there's something called a shin guard.
They go right through, man. You gotta think about it. The puck's frozen. You're playing with dudes who just absolutely have lasers as shots, and yeah, it really hurts. Mateo playing with us on Sunday.
No way.
On Sunday, yeah. Mateo coming out with the
wait,
lads.
on your team?
No,
like
this
against
is a pickup. This is a pickup.
Oh, it's a pickup game. Nice.
Yeah,
That's sick.
Last night was a league game, but yeah, Mateo
nice,
coming out.
How was the game?
Oh, we lost 7-4. We lost 7-4, yeah. But we had a renticle. Me, select. Yeah.
I think Mateo's A or double.
He used to play AAA, but I don't know at what age though. There's a big.
How do those levels work? What does it go?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Everybody at that, exactly. Yeah.
A double triple?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
AAA. Is there any checking? No, not anymore. Is BTC prime timer yet? I don't know. Katina Man's got the short. That's working out really well for him. Katina Man, you see this Tesla trade as well too over there, right off of those lows. Grab a quick buck off of the high there. We're waiting for the reload down here at 1580s to see if that's going to come into play. I might have to come a little bit higher, but again, if we're going to get an aggressive push to the downside, I want to see what the tape in the price action is telling us before we get involved once again. If we're holding up steadily, then I think we can head up to this 1590, even maybe 16s, and look for that continuation. But I'm going to be patient and wait and see what I got going on. I know you got nothing on the board right now, Obi, but you're saying where's the next trade? Do you have any eyes on anything specific?
So I'm looking at, so someone said in the chat there a little earlier, I think it was Vinash in the chat saying, sellers are here again. I was like, yeah, I'm kind of waiting for that. I'm looking for those sellers to step back in. Yes, we are chopping around. Yes, this current candle on the 15-minute is red. And yes, the past consecutive, I guess, 3 candles, including if you say 4, it's this one as well, have been overlapping. So, okay, so Dan Escobar in the chat saying, Obi, is this a flag pattern in the market? So, yeah, it's a bit of a flag. When we talked about this, I mentioned about this. Yes, the patterns are there. The patterns are there. There's range trends. This is technically, yes, this is a flag. But here is the kicker. You don't know what price action is going to result from those chart patterns. There are flags that continue. There are flags that break down. There are flags that fail. Do you know the probabilities of what those specific flags look like? And it's also nuanced scenario. What does a flag like this mean after we've done all of this and looking at the market environment as well? There's a lot of other things that come into play. You can't just be like, oh, flag equals breakout or flag equals breakdown. That's absolutely BS. Right? It doesn't work that way. No, this doesn't work that way. I think that when you confluence those patterns along with multiple other factors, then yes, that could definitely mean something. So if you're going to straight up ask me, does that look like a flag pattern? Yes, it's a flag. It's a consolidation, and prices accepting, prices consolidating, maybe with some higher highs and higher lows as well after a strong bid. That's kind of the flag. But the question becomes, what do we do here off the flag? I have no idea. If you know, please let me know. Because I'm waiting and watching. I'm being patient for the market to tell me where it's going to go before I get involved.
Sean, Tina, let's go.
Just getting involved in that. What's Sean saying?
I didn't know he added the let's go in there. Yeah, he's got the IBIT short. That's working out pretty good.
Good stuff. Yeah. The Bitcoin short's absolutely solid, man. I think, like, we were looking at Bitcoin. Take a look at this.
Let's go.
BTC USD, and I was talking about this over the past couple of weeks as well. But sure, you know, even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? That's what Wayne told me one time, and my rebuttal was, well, that's probably why I only take like 1 or 2 trades a day. So, you know, funny enough. So weekly, let's go straight to the monthly here and take a look at Bitcoin. So this was getting a little toppy around that 125s. I even said that 123 when this came in, this initial high, this 123. I was like, this might be a little bit of an area. And sure, it took us multiple months to start to really slow down, but the action was, in my opinion, was kind of distinct up here. We started to slow down, and I'm like, all right, people, you know, it might be time to de-lev or kind of risk off of this asset here as we start to slow down on that push of 125, and we are getting a bit of a reversion. So Kwadunk back into this prior range, and I was just like, yeah, if this pulls back, if this 100 cracks, I even said this, I was like, the last significant level of breakout was this 70K. And this is what I want to show you guys, because I know my indicators are still here, and I don't have many indicators on Bitcoin. Here we go. This this is the kind of flag that I really like. This is the flag that I was like, if this breaks and if this cracks, I should definitely get involved in some crypto. And I very well did. But on the backside, this slowdown off of that 100. That 100 kind of got tested a couple of times. We broke out 125. Again, same concept that I'm using in trading intraday. I'm just like, can you hold the quarter and print the half? Guess what? The way we transacted at that quarter, that 125, I don't know. I just didn't like it. So bit of a pullback, bit of a relief here, and back through. We're getting some discounts. Is this going to be that aggressive flush? I'm just waiting for this resistance to potentially, this trend resistance to potentially turn into support. And guess what? That's sitting all the way down here in the 60s. So I think that's very well within range. If we continue to make higher highs and higher lows, great, that's fine. But I like to buy the dips when it comes to Bitcoin. And I even said this before, I'm just like, I'm waiting for Bitcoin to do those 40, 50% pullbacks.
What are we
and
at
if we
right
go to
now?
50K, that's about a 50% pullback. So I think I'm gonna be waiting for that opportunity, because time and time again, dude, I'm telling you, I've missed opportunities on Bitcoin. I've gotten involved in good ones as well, but I've been watching this thing pretty intensely since it was about $6 to $10. We were talking about this stuff when we were in high school. So I've missed many cycles of Bitcoin and gotten partials and legs and meat of the move in other places, and getting roasted on some of the squeezes as well. But yeah, definitely over time you learn that Bitcoin has this kind of a range and volatility, and that's well within its character. So I'm expecting more of the same. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, sports and stonks, we are currently sitting at around 38% right now, 31 to where we're currently trading at. At those lows, we're at 35% off of those highs. 50% is going to put us at around 62,000 there, OB, 62,000. So you'd be getting prices that were there in March of 2024, so almost 2 years, just like that. I mean, hey, man, this is when IBIT's IPO first came out, right around this neck of the woods. I was buying it. Sold the bulk of my position up here at 93s. I was telling everybody up there, so I can already buy at 10K lower, which is pretty good. I'm not going to complain about that whatsoever. And there might be some more bleeding here, man, so it's going to continue to bleed its own blood. Look at the volume pickup. This is insane. Is this the largest in the volume? You're going, you're short now, right? There you go, bang. What do you got right there, Katina, man? Diamond hands. Yeah, at least with another loss last night, eh, brother? Overtime, at least now. Okay, so now we're gonna, man.
The odds are for them not to make the playoffs on fan.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think that is brutal. They're like 5th last in the league, 2nd last in the conference, which is not good. Maybe a Bitcoin bottom around 77. 50 is a stretch. I hope it does. Then I'm back in, says Shelly. All right, Shelly, we like that one. I want to get back into some more Tesla here, but we're talking about necklines, guys. And then you get this little bit of a liquidity grab south of there at 1597. Are we going to head anywhere lower? I might have to move this up to 1595s. I'm going to be patient. I have no issues because we're still sitting in a little bit right now. As you can see, 1506 is our average price in TSL. So yeah, I think that would put Tesla. Hold on. Let's get the math straight over here. Yeah, so a fraction. Just a little bit under 1% as TSLL is up 1.8%. All right, so now 1.7 as we're continuing to move a little bit lower. Get a pull up. How many traders oh, okay, hold on. Oh, okay, I had to read that first. I don't know if we can put that one up there. I don't think that's the best poll, but we can toss a poll up there. We're going to take offers. If anybody has a good idea for a poll, whether it be Adara, Sean, Ramin is a pretty solid thinker, I believe. She can come up with some good ideas. So if anybody wants to come up with a good, solid poll, then we'll put it up there and we'll get to voting. So yeah, we're open to ideas. Other than that, guys, I'm still going to post up if it was that you guys.
I just read the poll. Of
No, that's just right.
No, I think it's valid. Like, I don't think there's an issue in saying that out loud, but I don't think there's any merit to it. But if you do want to be like, okay, let's look into some of the stats. Female traders over time tend to perform significantly better than male traders, even though it is a male-dominated field. that's an interesting fact. It's just they're just better at following systems. Men tend to have more of an ego, and that definitely hurts them when it comes to trading stocks. Yep. I can say that because I don't know. I'm a man.
Yeah, we'll hit this.
I definitely struggle with ego on my worst trades.
Oh, what a tank! What a move down there in Tesla as the market's starting to come back in here, guys. So be cautious. If the momentum picks up, I might have to remove that bid, but we haven't hit this today, so we'll hit that right there. Okay, Ramin, thanks for that update. Ramin says, my dad says I have a high ego and a low IQ. Probably not the best combination right there, but I mean, listen, Ramin.
So going back to it, it's the same reason why women live longer than men.
Yeah, well, you see the stuff that
we take more risks.
Like, yeah, big time. Well, I mean, I don't know if they're logical risks.
A lot of them are really dumb risks.
Some of them aren't the best risks.
Here's the reversion.
But we're like, hey, man, IBIT says, Katina, man, you're cooking. Let's go. Wait, you don't got a let's go thing yet, eh? I know you can't get anything. It's tough out here, man. But listen, we'll hit that because it's tough, man. You got to wait for it. It's not true, by the way. I have a high ego and a high IQ, says Ramin, just to let us know, just in case you didn't know. Now you do. Assassino, you know what to hit now. No, okay, you didn't hit it. There we go. All right, there he is. That's how you know the man's good at his job, the more you know. But here it is, guys. We're coming in. I might have to chicken out of this, man. So I'm going to get out of this one here, Obi, because I don't like this momentum to the downside.
I like it a lot.
Are you short now?
Yes, sir. I told you I was waiting for those sellers. I was waiting for those sellers, and they came in. They actually missed them at the 181 because I was talking, but I was like, all right, if 180 is going to crack, I definitely want to stay involved because we were watching, right? Someone called out a flag, and I'm pretty sure they were insinuating some sort of like a bullish action off of that flag. I don't know. But the thing is, I was looking at the slowdown of the bid, and that meant a little bit more to me than just an arbitrary flag pattern forming on the chart. But yeah, bit of a pullback here as we see those buyers slow down. We had engulfing candles, overlapping candles, multiples of them, and then we take a little bit of a pullback. So maybe that engulfing, I weigh a little bit more, right? So that's something I do want to focus on here. But yeah, the market reversion is coming in quite nicely. Sure, if you took the market, you got from what, 2430s maybe into 2426s. Nvidia gave you 180 to 179 60s, I think. So you definitely have to kind of relative to the asset that you choose to trade the beta move, you definitely have to size accordingly, I would say. But yeah, no, that a bit of a follow through there. Let's see, 180 has continued to be a bit of an interesting level, a consolidative level. I do want to participate in this if it's going to show me more of the same, which was supply off of the open, supply during the early morning session, and then coming into a bit of a puke there, coming into the end of the midday session here as well, maybe some turbulence in and around this 180. So yeah, I covered majority of that position as it pulled back down, willing to lose on this rest of the bit if we're going to kind of chop around this 180 and bid right back up. So that's the move on Nvidia. Probably not the best vehicle to take that trade. Like I said, the future seems like they pulled back a little more decently. But we'll wait, be patient. This is the first sign of those sellers stepping right back in after we got that aggressive buying. Don't know when, if or when they're going to be done, but I'm looking for more of the same here, Joe. So good stuff there. Had to be a little bit more astute as to picking up that short a little bit earlier, but you know what? When we're having a good time and we're talking, we're doing the show, can't catch them all.
Can't catch them all.
But it matters that we're
trying to catch them all. I'm trying to catch them all. People aren't serious.
One day, you can call me Ash Ketchum, but not anytime soon.
Did you ever do that Pokemon Go stuff?
Yeah, a little bit. The thing is, I was not.
That was a crazy time in the city, man.
Yeah, I was not in the country when all of that was going down.
Oh, okay.
I was kind of overseas at school. Yeah, I kind of missed that whole phase. And I heard stories about hordes of people running around the city.
It was crazy.
It was crazy. I'm like, wow, this is. I missed out on that time. But it is what it is. But here's the thing. Currently, for those of you astute Pokemon fans, I recently didn't replay, but I played Pokemon Fire Red. Shout out to big phones and emulators. And I'm currently playing.
What is Fire Red?
So Pokemon Fire Red was a Game Boy Advance game.
The
Pokemon
one.
games.
Yeah.
The Pokemon games.
I had that.
Now I'm playing. It's a Nintendo DS game. Again, shout out to big phones and emulators. Pokemon Heart Gold, which was made for the DS, for the Nintendo DS.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm still kind of catching up on lost time. But when you're on the bus, when you're in transit, when you're kind of bored, a couple 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour or two here and there. I think it's more than fun.
I was contemplating buying a PS5 the other day, but I'm like, for what? I would for it to collect dust. I just don't play video games anymore.
I definitely do. I mean, playing the best video game in the world right now, right here, right now.
Aside
Come on.
from that,
this is PvP. This is ranked. This is competitive to the max.
Bro, this is max prestige right here.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the day, it doesn't get any higher in a prestige level. I bet you Sean and Neil are like, what are these guys talking about right now at this point? GTA 6, yeah, I was thinking about that. But listen, this is what I heard. And I agree with this. People will dedicate their lives to GTA and build this fantasy lifestyle, like, oh, I have all this money in GTA. Look at all these cars that I'm driving, all this money I have in GTA. But why don't you, if you put that much effort into real life, why don't you try to bring that to fruition? And that's, for me, that's the reason why I never really got into GTA 5 or whatever it is. I mean, I'll tap into GTA 6 maybe, but I could care less. If you put that much effort, video gaming, and I told you guys, I used to play a lot of Call of Duty with my friends when I was in my earlier 20s, but I'm like, yo, you can't make any, like, unless you're a pro, you can't make any money playing Call of Duty all day, every day. But with this, I'm like, so this is where I concentrated my my energy was towards trading, and I think a lot of people did that. Was great during the it was fun during the pandemic. There's no question about that. There's a lot of fun stuff like that. But again, when you head into the GTA world, if you put that type of effort into trading or into building a life skill, it's going to go much farther than what you built on a video game that you can't do anything about. Got to have fun though. So, yeah, no, Katina, man, you got to have fun. Pardon me?
Like in your extra free time.
Yeah, and you're like playing video games, you're saying? No, there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm saying like there's people who are so dedicated to the games that it's like, hey, if you work that hard outside of it, instead of focusing and building this online life that essentially isn't real. Listen, I was a heavy gamer myself. I think it comes, but as you get older, you lose the attention span, me personally, to be
That's why you gotta keep up with the reps. This is what I'm saying, you gotta keep up with the reps.
No, man, I just don't have that focus to play
I used to play, like, I don't know if you guys know.
It's not the same dopamine.
Here's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, it's not the same dopamine for sure. It's a little different, but I'm saying that those gaming skills are 100% transferable, especially if you are a competitive gamer. If you play any sort of ranked games, if you're into, if there's any sort of like, any level of like game theory that goes into your gaming, then yes, for sure, some of those skills are definitely transferable. As of recent, I've been playing a little bit of League of Legends. I used to play, I was getting at fast on the keyboard, so speed on the keyboard. I used to play something called Guns Online. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that used to be, you had to be fast on the keyboard, or otherwise other players would eat you for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So those key combinations, even like when Fortnite came out initially, people who were fast on the keys and were able to build structures had a significant advantage over other players as well, right? So it's just like some of those skills are very transferable. For example, small caps, they move around really, really quickly. So you got to be really fast at getting in and out, especially if you're a manual trader. Exactly. So Fabian is talking about gamification.
Yeah,
this is literally like if you gamify trading from a business perspective, and you're very, very serious about it. That is the way to take it. That is the path.
This is my game now. Yeah. This is my game. Like,
this is what we game. And bro, you got to be. Sometimes you got to be fast.
You got to be hella fast, man. Listen, I'm not saying don't play video games. It's just you got to ask yourself what you want in life, and if it's to sit there and play video games, then by all means continue to do so. But if it's to kind of build something, build a I wouldn't say it's an essential life skill or something. I shouldn't say it's not worthy, because at the end of the day, I used to play a lot of video games. I mentioned that. I ran through all the systems. I had everything. I just phased out of it. I said, you know what, I'm gonna just concentrate on something else. So yeah, absolutely, you can do both. You can do both. But one thing to note, it's like regardless of what you're doing, I want you to note this, and it's what I've learned over my lifetime playing sports. And even just, I guess, life in general. So the individuals who are diehard and decide to go like all in on one thing, they're constantly like, as soon as in the morning, I'm going to use the hockey reference, they're stick handling. And after school, they're stick handling. Yep. Before they go to bed, they're thinking, they're watching tape, they're doing all these things.
It's passion, dude.
It's passion.
It's an addiction.
It's passion.
You have to be married.
But then you have the individuals who's like, all right, maybe once or twice a week, they're stick handling. They're not thinking, they're not watching any tape after the games or anything along those lines. You have that balance. But to be a great, people say life balance. No, you got to look at the all-time greats. They don't have balance. It's one or nothing. That's it. And if you're looking to be that type of individual, it's one or nothing. And same with the likes of LeBron, Steph Curry, Sidney Crosby, Wayne Gretzky, Tom Brady, all those greats at their sport. They didn't care about anything else except for that one thing that they were doing. So if you're looking to do that, I think it's really important to know.
100%, dude. You have to be able to eat, breathe, sleep.
Everything. It's everything. It's literally
then and only then will you achieve an outlier. Okay,
especially
so here's something interesting. You are trying to do something extraordinary. You are trying to do something extraordinary by getting good and profiting from the market and trading stocks. So here's the thing. If you are trying to be extraordinary, you really have to ask yourself, look around you, look at the general population, and how can you do things which are not the ordinary, which are more, what is above average? You are trying to be an outlier. Do your habits, does your life revolve around that concept? Are you doing outlier things in your spare time? Right? Sure, not everybody has time to, review tape all day, look at charts all day. Guess what? If you're lucky enough to do so, how are you using your time? Because best believe that other guy sitting somewhere around the world is putting in that time and is getting that experience more than you every moment that you are slacking off.
Absolutely.
So you have to ask yourself, how bad do you really want it?
Yep.
That's all it is.
And then that's the thing, right? And that's what I was willing to do. I said, hey man, we got to be willing to give something up. Casey giving you big time love as well too there, Obi. No, it's only a skill issue. Come on, Remy.
Yes, a lot of times.
No, but
what's a skill issue? Who's saying
I don't know. But aside from that, guys, Alex.
I say that all the time because I'm just like, get good.
Yeah, get good.
Part of gaming is like getting good. I have skill issues in a lot of things.
Of course.
I have to get better at a lot of things, but like that's something as a gamer, that's one of my favorite phrases. I'm just like, what's the issue there? You just got to get good. I know sometimes it's said in a kind of derogatory way or like kind of like that kind of, with a negative connotation. Yeah. But at the same time, that is what needs to happen.
Get good, man.
Right? And there are ways to get better at things. You have to know how to get better at things. And I think being a gamer or being an athlete definitely teaches you the process of how to get better.
Of course, man. $5 super chat from our guy Alex B.
Wow, Nvidia is going, man.
Yeah,
Nvidia's back to VWAP. That 180 was the place to get in. It's sitting at 178.80s now, so about $1 in. I covered most of it at 79.5, so bit of a fumble on my part, but still holding on a bit of a trail, taking some from Joe's book there. I saw you're still trailing some of that Tesla? Yes,
yeah, absolutely,
nice.
man.
I like that. So it's working
yeah.
for me, so I definitely wanted to get into the habit of holding a piece for the move.
Yeah,
so you guys asking, why aren't you guys in taking any trades? Guess what? I'm in the trade I want.
We've been in the trade, man.
I'm in there, dog. I'm in there.
Hold on. Let's tell it. What time did we get in this thing? 11:08. I've been in this trade since 8 minutes after we started the show off of the low.
Boom.
Okay, Alex Barantis, thank you for that super chat. I always believe the hardcore gamers have the intrinsic skills to be successful traders. Absolutely, because you can translate that. You get with the buttons and everything along those lines on the cognitive function, which is extremely
There's a guy. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. There's a guy in Toronto who goes by the name of Eternal Envy. You guys know who he is. That guy was a professional Dota 2 player. Now, Dota 2 is one of the harder RTSs, real-time strategy games in the world. But when it comes to like a massively multiplayer, but a lot of his skills have definitely been transferable. And he doesn't really talk too much about what he does, but I understand and know what kind of names he's trading. But yeah, interesting stuff. A lot of that, if you are a professional gamer, try your hand at stocks. I'm being real with you. If you are a professional gamer and you play at a very elite level, you should probably look into trading some stocks, because it's very, very similar in terms of transferable skills, in terms of gaming, that meta, that you know, the K-level thinking, the problem solving, and you know, just outthinking the next guy.
Yep, big time.
There's definitely a lot of that there. So.
Look at this turnaround in the market here, Obi.
Reversion of the reversion.
Yeah, big time. It says Katina, man, he's $1 plus there on that one. So nice work, brother. There comes Tesla coming in. So once again, you're seeing it in a couple of names here. A lower high being established on NVDA, curling right back over to the volume-weighted average price. We did establish one here on the Qs, but now you're starting to come back in. Look for the SPY to maybe hold these levels, but you have a lot of support being broken, and then now we're getting those clean flushes to the downside. I'm glad that I removed that potential buy on Tesla as we're continuing to bleed. Let's see how we react right around the volume-weighted average price, but nice, steady downward price action, about 30 minutes, 35 minutes or so of consistent selling. But what is starting to form a wedge over here, and I think we want to keep our eyes out on this, is Google. Look at Google, guys, consistent lower highs on this one, but with that flat bottom, a key support level coming into play. Let's see that volume step in on Google to see if we're going to get a specific direction. Now, as for the 1 minute time frame, a bunch of indecision prints off of these lows, so I can maybe take a little bit of a dabble here, as we might get a small bounce in the market, and I like our chances of getting involved. Trump calls, okay, yeah, he calls them not very smart. Which is, I mean, to each their own at the end of the day. Thank you for that, Ramin. So here it is. Let's get involved at VWAP. I mean, we have a little bit of risk here that we can put up. So some free rolling. Let's get some size on just in case. I will hop out of this trade at 1550s if it does continue to bleed that way. But I do like our chances for a small bounce, considering we have been bleeding for the past 30 minutes or so, Obi.
Yeah, man, I'm just looking at this NVIDIA here, pulling right back into VWAP. So yeah, reversion to VWAP. I didn't quite take it from where the sellers step in, but through that 180, that worked out pretty nicely. So yeah, thank you. Where is the next trade is what I'm asking now, with just a trailer on for this one here. You know what? I should definitely trail a little bit less there. So yeah, 179s, maybe it gets back through. I don't know. I'm just leaving on a breadcrumb to just be like, all right, I have made the conscious decision to at least leave a little bit of a trail on, as long as it continues to work for me. So we'll see how that one potentially comes in. But VWAP hold, I like that. That's kind of the trade that I liked in this specific scenario as of right now. And a few other stocks gave us that same look here. So let's take a look around and see what else gave us relatively clean reversion back to VWAP here. So Amazon was one of them right here. You can see that. I was talking about this high. Remember when I was like, okay, this is coming into a prior area of supply? It took a very long time for it to happen. But look at that slow and steady bleed out, grinding down, and then aggressive selling. So bigger picture, this was a great place to get involved with a reversion in a place where we saw supply show up yesterday going into the end of the day, and supply shows up once again. So Amazon, beautiful reversion. Miss on my part. I definitely have to go back and playbook some of that there. But like I said before, can't catch them all, even though the trades are absolutely there. Tesla is the next one that had a decent reversion back to VWAP. And you guys saw I had these support and resistance lines marked in from before. And you know what? Maybe it's just confirmation bias. But whatever, we come into that area, supply steps right back in, and we have that reversion to VWAP at a place where in the morning there was supply at 402s. We pull all the way back down to 383s. We take a straight beeline up into that area of supply, and then supply steps right back in. So another iteration of more of the same. Just got to keep it simple, guys. Just want to sell with the sellers and buy with the buyers. When I'm doing that, I'm doing all right. When I'm doing the opposite, might be a little rough when I'm trying to counter aggressive trends. So ideally, in theory, that's the way I would like to perform. it's still a work in progress, right? Taking those decisions and making those actions real time is a whole different story than just talking about it after it's already happened. But I try to do my best to stay involved real time as well as some of those reversions come in. So that 180 back through on Nvidia was one of those moments. So let's go through some of the stocks that I was watching in the pre-market, and that was my watch list in the morning, and we can see how those have been performing. While I do that, I'd like you guys to throw it up in the chat. What are the stocks that you guys have traded? What are you watching going into the end of the day? Let's populate some of the chat with some of those stocks so we can take a look at those as well. So let's start off with, I was looking at this stock here and it actually worked. Came up on one of my scanners, a back burner trade on UTI. Hopefully this one didn't burn people too much, but we'll see. Look at that continuation here. Universal Technical Institute, a beautiful downtrend all day with relative volume. It had earnings yesterday. Today was earnings day 2 and continuation on much less volume, but continuation nonetheless here on UTI as it comes in beautifully on earnings day 2. So missed trade on that one, but it definitely worked out. Part of my watch list in the morning here. So I think we got a bit of a super chat here. KC526, thank you very much for the super chat. They're saying, is it just me, but is the volume really low today? Sound of video is hard to hear. Maybe we can look into that. Yeah, maybe sometimes refreshing or restarting the stream can also kind of help as well. So hopefully you get that sorted out, and we'll definitely check on our end if anything is up. But yeah, let other people in the chat chime into that. Are you guys having sound issues as well? Let's see if there's a bit of confluence of that factor. We can definitely look into that as well. Let's go to the next stock I had on watch was Circle. Okay. Circle was aggressively weak yesterday, and I do want to point your attention to a bit of a key level here on Circle, because did it live up to its name? Weekly chart, full circle, back to the IPO price, and wow, look at the extension. I had so many anchors on this. Shout out to my swing shorts. Yesterday and today was the day, guys, that we came right back into opening prices. And I kind of was talking about this with other traders as well. The trade after that capitulation, after that lower high, that 250 failure to follow through, in my opinion, was now how do we take inventory back to open? And back to open, meaning back to opening price on Circle, which was specifically $69. The low, the absolute low, was $64. We actually came into those levels in the pre-market session today. So take a look at this. Yesterday we came in with a bit of a low, in and around those levels. 64s didn't quite crack it, just about $1 roughly above that area, and holding as of right now. So the question becomes, what's the likelihood that we kind of chop around that all-time low? I think it's pretty high. Look at the action on the way down. Right? People are definitely going to take some of the best reversions are back to opening price. Like we've stair-stepped, pyramided down, however you want to look at it, back to opening price. It has given you a 100% reversion. So those who are astute swing short traders may be taking some profits at that opening price because there's some liquidity there. There was some buyers there before. Maybe you're buying with some of those buyers there again. But ultimately, the underwriter price was all the way down, I think, at like $30-something. So those underwriters, they don't care about the opening price. They don't care about 64 lows. They care maybe a little bit more about defending the price that they actually underwrote, which is around $30. So now the question becomes, we've taken inventory into the opening price. That was $69. Now the question becomes, do we continue? Do we break the low? Is this a breakdown of all-time lows on Circle? And do we go all the way down to some of those underwriting prices? So that's the question now. So that was Circle. That's much bigger picture. That trade has already kind of been cooking, but we'll see if there's any bit of continuation there on Circle. So that's what I was watching today. MicroStrategy was is the last one I'm going to cover before I pass it back to Joe. MSTR, more of the same. Off of the open, some aggressive bid, yes. Bit of a reversion, but we look at some of those end of day consolidations on strong days. Look at this. we cannot get back above 179s, 180s at that end of day bounce yesterday after an aggressive sell-off. Makes sense, the market closed pretty weak as well. But that's where supply kind of stepped right back in and was like, nope, not getting back through there today. Coming into the day today, we do print lower in the pre-market session. We come back into this area that showed us that it was an area of supply going into the end of the day. We cannot break through that as of right now, and we pull back off of it. So supply steps right back in on MSTR. Another bit of a mistrade on my part. SanDisk was the next one. That one gave a little bit of a continuation as well. Bigger picture action happening there at the same time. What do you got going on there, Joe?
Yeah, same thing. I got the reload here, guys, right at the volume weighted average price. Could have been a little bit more patient on that one and got it below as we're continuously bleeding, but I have no issues. I'll get out at 1550. This was still a monster of the trade, and we're just looking for the continuation, maybe even a test and establish a lower high over here. But I don't know if that's going to necessarily be the case, but we'll sit on our hands. A nice indecision print on IBIT right at the volume weighted average price as well too, guys. So a couple prints across the board in which we are seeing. This is the wedge that I was referring to earlier in Google, now starting to head towards the volume weighted average price. So where's the volume going to step in? Be patient and wait for it before you decide to head over into this chop, because you can see it's just nice ebbs and flows within this range. Price really starting to compress over there. But other than that, guys, I mean, we went over trader view. How many names, just a quick question, Obi, how many names have you traded today? You hear me?
Sorry?
I said, how many names have you traded today?
I think I've traded 2 names.
2 names.
Actually, 3.
3.
We had that Google quick scalp in the morning, which I forgot about. But
yeah, both of us 3 there.
3,
so not
2 main trades.
Yeah, 3 as well too. Obi Bitcoin knife through the hearts is Alexander. I mean, hey, you got to be patient. I think it was Travman who was mentioning this earlier in the day. He's like, hey, Joe, there might be some positive signs for maybe a shorter term bounce here. I don't think this is going to be a full recovery. We do need buying pressure to step right back in here so we can close as this hammer. But look at the volume being put in on today's session. That's a pretty good signal in my opinion, especially if we can get it to push price up maybe to 85 or 84.5 by the end of the session. I think there's a good opportunity that you might see a nice little bounce into prior resistance. I'm not going to put it up into the hundreds of thousands just yet because I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case in Bitcoin. But obviously we are prepared for the worst and hope for the best. So there it is. Tesla's starting to bounce back a little bit. I told you 1550s. If we don't continue in today's trend, then I'm out. But I love this indecision print right there. Today is monthly OPEX close. Well, yeah, exactly. Ozan, thank you for pointing that out as well too. There it goes, guys. A nice indecision print right on Tesla at the volume weighted average price. So this reload has a higher probability now of working out. I'm not saying it's the highest, but from what it was previously looking at, that's just going to increase our chances of the continuation in the trend. Adara, what do you have for us?
What I have here involves a company called Charles River Labs here, CRL. I'm seeing a report here suggesting that the CDC is going to be ending all monkey research. Now, this is a bad look for CRL because they are known for their animal testing. So again, monkey research being ended reportedly by the CDC, not a great look for CRL. Guys, it's worth noting, not a ton of volume on this, but the volume we have in this drop is larger than any of the other candles we've seen traded so far today in the 15 minutes. Back to you.
There, I thought, I guess monkey, yeah, obviously not. It's a chimpanzee. Jane Goodall, may she, that's her name, right? Jane, the chimpanzee lady.
Oh,
Jane
yeah,
Goodall,
yeah.
May she rest in peace. She got Americans to stop doing testing on the chimpanzees. Just due to how they are. And I'm pretty sure she just came out with a documentary as well, too, so shout out to
I think it was the one where I think the gorilla's name was Cookie or something, where it does like sign, it knows like sign language.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
I think I know which one you're talking about. Yeah,
by the end of its life, it was able to form sentences and everything.
Yeah, she's gone. She's gone. Jane, yeah, she worked with gorillas and she worked with chimps as well too.
Yeah. So yes, I reckon.
Coco is what
Coco, not Cookie.
Was,
yeah. Sorry, I remember it was a C something. It was a CO something.
What's your favorite animal? That's my favorite animal. A silverback gorilla is mine.
Silverback gorilla.
Yeah, is my favorite.
Man, I'm definitely a feline kind of guy.
Okay.
I like my kitties. I like the lions. I like tigers.
Okay.
I like mountain cats as well. Okay. But I would have to go with, people call it the king of the jungle, but the king of the jungle is actually a tiger. Lions don't live in jungles. King of the savannah. I have to go with the lion.
Okay. All right. The lion. All right. Bang, bang. Put there it is. Put we'll hide that. Now you know exactly. It'll be like so. There it is, guys. Put your favorite.
I have 2 cats at home.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nice.
I bought them when they were kittens.
What are their names?
Anna and Nina.
Anna and Nina. Very nice names. You know, I found a cat when I was younger in my age. Dude, me and my friend were walking home, and anyways, I hear this meow, meow, meow. And I'm like, what is that? I thought it was someone lurking in the bushes trying to like come and lure me to this sound. Anyways, I find this little all-white cat with 3 black spots about this big a kitten. I guess his parents abandoned it. My grandparents and I later adopted the name. And I called him, I'm not good with names. Kitty was his name, but my grandparents called him Mo. Because he costs Mo money at the end of the day. So yeah, there we go. We had Zeke. So yeah, shout out to them. There goes, guys, there it is on TSLL, right back into these markets. A nice bounce. And this is what I was talking about, that indecision print right at the volume weighted average price. This is what you want to look for. And then we said, hey, that's going to increase our chances of putting a solid reload in, turning into a profitable one as well. So not too bad of a look. And there goes Google, guys, with that break to the top side, punching through that price compression and now heading towards the volume weighted average price. If we can get up to 16 here, I'm gonna look to piece a little bit out. So I will post up at 16s to see if we can catch that fill. I'm gonna take a look at, oh no, it's 1560. So yeah, you're starting to come in pretty aggressive right now. I'm not overly heavy on this reload, but that's okay. We're not worried about that. So I'll post up at 16s. There it goes. So orders in now, guys. That's going to be that primary target. If we start to crawl around there and come back to the break even, I have no issues with getting out. But let's take a look at the likes now, because I know that things were starting to ramp up a little bit. We almost got to 1,000 OB, so that's not too bad. So if you could do us a solid 4,900 of you guys watching with 860 likes.
Let's get it up to 1K.
140 more, that's it. That's nothing crazy. Much appreciated. It's not for me, it's for everyone else around here. So please and thank you. That would be fantastic. All right, guys. Tesla. Google breaking out now, OB. The market heading back towards some key support levels that can act as potential resistance. So you can see that base that was formed right here at 590.44 and in the SPY 659.71. And now we're currently rejecting that. So you run into that zone, prior support acting as potential resistance, and then you see the selling pressure step right back in. So there it is, guys. Not too bad of a look. Google can get rocking and rolling right here because it wasn't participating really, OB, with that big move to the top side up here. It was just going oppo essentially. When we seen in the morning, it was one of the stronger Mag 7 names, but things started to cool down in Google. Let's see if they start to pick up a little bit.
For sure, man. Some of these Mag 7s are very, very interesting. Apple coming back into its high a day as well. I have that on the left side of my screen here watching that. I did only take shorts pretty much on both Nvidia and Apple today. And no real reason to get back into the short there on Apple after that morning kind of a pop and drop reversion to VWAP. And we've been kind of just grinding right back up and holding this 270s pretty well as the market kind of chops around and attempts to reclaim some of its highs. So watching this 270 hold on Apple is what I'm doing. We'll be right back from Adair.
Yeah, we have to let you guys know here about Ford F getting a little bit of a volume spike and a bit of a price spike as well. The company reaffirming their fiscal 2025 guidance following their Oswego incident. So what that means is they had another fire in their aluminum plant Novelis, which is in Oswego, New York. Even with that fire, they said they're still reaffirming their fiscal 2025 guidance. Back to you.
Well, thank you very much. All right, Exotic Trades with the Super Chat. Thank you very much for the Super Chat. Got first funded last week. Congratulations, and hit the profit target. Let's go today. Caught SPY long and short. Flip game strong. I like it. Love the game y'all give. Love the game y'all give. This show means the world to me and my journey. I'm glad that you are extracting value off of this. That's what we're here for, right? We're here to provide that liquidity, to provide that value and that entertainment for you guys so you guys can grow and learn alongside with us.
Yeah, Exotic Trades, you deserve this right here. Oh, sorry, never mind that. New traders, listen up. First month free, that's right. We're waiving fees, trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to Elite, analyze, strategize, capitalize. Our platform, it's everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with backtesting, reliable real-time data, global markets at your fingertips, all in one platform. Don't miss out. Execute your best trades now. ready to elevate your trading, scan the QR code or check the link on the description. All right, Obi, there it was on the reload. We're now at 96s. I might take a little bit off right here just because we're going to head into this support level. I need 3 more pennies to catch that fill at 16. What do you think? We got a couple of seconds here. Do I diamond hands this or do I take a little bit off and front run it? What do I do, Obi? All right, it's too long.
I don't know what.
I'm only playing with you.
Front run what? What are you front running?
Well, no, I was gonna say, do I take it off before 16, or do I let it ride through 16s here?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know.
What's the trade?
What's the trade?
I don't know. I don't know what your trade is.
Okay, all right.
It's bouncing off VWAP, and the buyers are stepping in, so I don't know.
I'm gonna front run.
Right?
Yeah, let's go. Oh,
All
Neil's
right.
got his opinion.
Neil's got
what does
something to say.
Neil
I don't think that mic
Bring it in here.
works
The mic doesn't work, brother.
It's all good. It's all good.
We're running out of time as we're running into that.
I think he has something to say about this.
He most definitely does. We're in
out
front of the 16s. Let's see what Neil had to say about that.
All I have to say is this: like, treat exiting the same as you treat like a stop out or an entry. You should have a reason for every decision you make. Well, you shouldn't just take shares off because they happen to be in the money or because you can. It doesn't even make any sense. Is it at a key price level?
Yep.
Is something changing? Like if you're watching the tape and like, oh, it's starting to work for me. Okay, let it work for a bit. Is something changing the tape? Does it reach a price level? Do you see a big order going against you? Like those are reasons to cover something. So if it's not at a key price level and none of those things are happening, why are you covering? Let it happen. One of the things that I actually hate that I do, anytime I look at a chart and I see a candle where I have like multiple exits just as it's starting to work, it's like if you like the trade so much, why are you shotgunning out of it as it's starting to work? Never makes any sense, and I hate it every time I do it. It's like let it get to the next price level. Anyways, I haven't even looked at your chart, so I'm not even sure, but.
I mean, I think this is solid justification here, Neil. I don't know if you can see it, but we have that support level being formed.
Perfect.
And we're trading right into that. So that's essentially what I was getting in front of. I didn't think we were going to run into 16s too aggressively. So I'm like, hey, let's take it up. But I mean, we sat through it there, waited to come up there, and then, hey, it's starting to reject a little bit. Let's take a little bit off right at that specific.
You need my old ass for that. You already knew what to do.
Exactly. I mean, that's
why I was like,
I didn't see the chart.
You know what I mean? We're going to add a little context to it.
But I think I did. I was like, it's your trade. And I think that goes back to a significant point. I find a lot of traders, they'll ask me about their positions, be like, oh, what should I do now? Dude, I don't know. You took that trade.
I was leaving it in your hands, Obi.
You know what I mean?
It was all fun and games at the end of the day.
I understand.
You see what I was getting at?
So, Neil makes a great point.
A little bit too deep. No, he does. No, he does. He's not wrong.
You need reasons. We talked about this yesterday. Reasons to buy, reasons to sell. Is that a reason to buy or sell? I don't know. If you think that pushing up into resistance is a reason to sell, then yeah, I think.
Isn't that a logical reason though into trading?
Not always.
Depending on the price.
How many times? Okay, so let's talk about this. How many times? So buyers are now strong. Sellers have already kind of dissipated.
Yeah.
Tesla is pushing up, and we've held VWAP while the market is attempting to break high a day.
Yeah.
Once again. So the question I start to ask now is, VWAP buyers were there. You even made the decision to add on top of VWAP.
I did.
Right? So when you made that decision to add on top of VWAP, was the trade to take it into that consolidation low, or was the trade to be like, all right, if buyers step in here after an aggressive beeline to the highs, are we going to step structure higher and use VWAP as a bit of a trampoline to take us to some fresh highs?
Yeah.
That's the question I'd be asking. And yes, I think going into resistance is a great place to look at the tape to see for confirmation if you see sellers there.
See, look at this.
Exactly. So if you see this and then you're selling, that makes sense because you're like, all right, I'm seeing some selling at a place where I'm expecting that to happen. But some of the best trades, dude, is like the price action is coming into an area. You expect something to happen. And then it doesn't happen. Guess what? You're probably not the only one thinking that. And there is definitely some opportunity in those moments for sure.
I mean, this got a lot deeper than what I was intending, to be honest with you. I was just like, we're just trying to have a little fun here, but there it goes, guys. That's why we did take a little bit off. I was
Joe's sorry he asked.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I am at the end of the day.
I know it was a joke. No, it was a joke.
No, it's good to obviously get the insight and everything. I was just having a little bit of fun with it. As we're having a pretty solid day, everybody across the board is really. But guys, in all seriousness, that's why I posted up at 16s was because of this support level that can act as prior resistance, and you can see almost to the penny we're rejecting that. So that over-under style of play, exactly. So there we go, starting to come back in there. Sorry, Assassino, what was that, brother? Oh, super chat. When did you guys become full-time traders? January of 2022. Literally, I got back from vacation and went full-time. But mind you, I was working full-time, I was studying, I was running simulator, I would schedule days off to just get some reps in sim and then go live trading. So yeah, I did that for about 1.5 years, 2 years before I even decided to go live. But again, like Sean and Neil say all the time, and I definitely, and I'm an advocate of this, is you always want to have that second or that primary income and then use trading as a means to just add on top of that at the end of the day. Because when you are at home and you're like, hey, I need to make this money, I need to make this money, it adds too much pressure on you and you will make mistakes because what the market doesn't offer the same things every single day. So that has to be, and you don't know that in your earlier stages of trading.
Oh, I think that's a great
I don't know
point,
when
man.
you, yeah.
I think I started full-time trading once I got to the floor here, and I think that was about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't know. Time flies. I think it was like 2.5. Roughly 2.5 years ago, somewhere around there, is when I joined the firm and I actually went full-time. But I was trading at home for a few years before that, successfully, unsuccessfully. I got squeezed out on some names. I made some money on some names. But yeah, that's what you learn. I think Joe makes a great point here. A lot of people misjudge the runway that you actually need to get good at this game, right? To actually learn from scratch. Sure, there can be scenarios where you're handed fish and you're just like, all right, we're making money because we've been handed fish. But actually learning how to fish in these markets is a whole different story, is a whole different game. And a lot of people do not give themselves the right kind of runway to appropriately and effectively go through that process. Now, I say this all the time. People go to school. Let's take college or university as an example. To get to learn everything in the syllabus and the contents of what the educators think you need to know before tackling that field in the real world takes about 4 years. And once you get into that field, after all that learning and after all that grinding and passing all those exams and taking those hurdles and just grinding it out for 4 years, you go into the workplace and guess what? Are you the expert in what you do? Absolutely not. You have maybe a little bit of a base to take you forward. Maybe you've learned life skills along the way through college and university, but when you actually get into the field, like you're not starting out as the most elite. You can't just be like, oh man, I've been doing this, I've been reading about this, I've been learning this stuff for 4 years. I got to be the best in the game. It doesn't make sense, dude. It's not how this works. It's just like real life. You got to put in the grind, you got to put in real time, and seed time at the end of the day is what is going to make that difference. Now, sure, everyone has different ways and different paces to progress.
Everybody's learning curve is different.
Yeah, everyone's learning curve is different because everyone's life is different.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It really depends on that. So really give yourself the right kind of runway and make sure you have funds or you have other aspects that are maybe unrelated to trading or they could be related to trading as well, right? I know Joe talks about trading and selling options as well on the side, right? Absolutely. If you definitely have to, flip game strong is what I like to say, right? I like to flip things, and sometimes I like buying and selling stocks. It's another type of a flip game. So that's my interest. I like markets in general. I like the concept. If tulips were hot right now in this day and age, I'd probably be buying and selling tulips.
I do whatever, man.
I just like buying and selling things. That's what I tell people.
All right. All right. Anyways, flipping. Okay, well, come on, Grant. We can't be doing that, obviously. Unless it's on the side. Unless it's on the side. Yeah, business is business. At the end of the day, $100 bill is a $100 bill, I guess, but you don't want to be getting it too bad. But yeah, Google, guys, that Google breakout was really nice. We're going to post up at 1605s here on TSLL as this continue to climb higher. Nice little reload off the side. I told you guys 1550 was going to be my out on that reload, and we're fortunate enough to catch a bounce to the top side. Now heading back to 1605s over there. And we're going to see if we're going to have the ability to catch a fill. We're right back at the high of the day, essentially, on the Nasdaq and on the SPY, so that's something positive. And this is the indecision print, which I was talking about earlier. As soon as I seen that, I'm like, okay, nice. This is exactly what I want to see. You get that pullback, and then sure enough, all right, we're going to catch this fill here, I believe, momentarily on Tesla. As you can see, we're posted up a nice, strong flush of green on the offer. Now we just need an additional one. We're only a couple of pennies away, 333s. If we can get that pushed up to 4s, maybe even 4 and 5. So there it is, another clean flush to the top side. What are the immediates telling us? A lot going on right there. So some size coming through, 62s. I think we're going to keep an eye out. I'm pretty sure we will catch it, but we just need some more strong flushes. There it is, back up to 63s. Eyes focusing on the tape. What we got going on, the L2 as well. Quote highlights going on, 63s. When is that next revamp of flushing going to come into? And then we push down to 01, so we didn't get that one there. Also, keep an eye on the volume. It's really important, guys. So if you don't have the volume stepping in and supporting your move higher, the chances of you breaking through some key zones are going to slowly start to dwindle, all right? So Google is going in its own world. But wow, look at the volume on the lower time frames pick up in Google's, I almost called you Sharif for some reason, OB. So a nice big time move as you're cracking through. You see that volume really start to pick up there. So not too bad of a look, 298.95. So you're heading over to 299s there in GOOGL. First time trading TSLL, and I like it. Thanks, says Drop Trades. All right, I mean, because you're having a good day, doesn't mean you have to like it or not. It obviously helps for sure. We joke around saying, yeah, it's in our garbage list and everything along those lines. You just got to find something that you're comfortable with. TSLL is a great leverage product in my opinion. There it is. We caught the fill. Bang, a nice breakout. Whoa, what's going on with Google?
Here we go. Oh, Nvidia's breaking out right now. Oh my God, something's happening.
There's something going on. I know you're going to bring it to us immediately. Look at that volume step into this market. This is insane. Look at that fill.
Shoot first, act later.
Whoa, what is going on here? Some form of news, guys. Let's go. A lot of people saying it. Yeah, this is insane. What a big time move on Tesla, guys, as we head right back towards the high of the day. What a reload as well too. A monster move. Let's see if we can catch that fill back up to 1625. And what a reload. LMB. Yeah, bang, says the Jameson. Let's see. Boom. And there we go. Catch another fill off of that reload. Massive volume across the board as the SPY put in the new high of the day. NVDA putting in a new high of the day. Qs. All right, Adara, talk to us.
It's Trump.
Yeah, that's because it's NVIDIA-related news, guys. Apparently, we have Bloomberg reporting with regards to NVDA that the Trump team is internally floating, selling NVIDIA H200 chips to China. So again, internally, apparently, the Trump team is considering selling these H200 chips to China. Bloomberg reporting this big spike for the market and especially NVDA. Back to you.
Across the board, guys, as the volume stepped in, this was insane. A big time move. Let's pull it up here so we can see it. Look at this. Punches through. Indecision print at VWAP. Indecision print at VWAP. You guessed it. We're going to go across the board and see multiple. And now we have in the Mag 7 a lot of new highs. Let's run through the list of them. Let's get IBIT off of there. MSFT, what are you up to? Not too much. Not as big of a reaction in what we're seeing in some of the other names on Microsoft. Google we have. Apple, what are you doing? Come on, show us. Boom. Apple's just living in. Apple's doing what Walmart was doing yesterday, disregarding everything else that's been happening in the market and just going all the way up to 272. So what a monstrous move. I don't know where continuing. Hopefully he has his stops in there as things. I'm pretty sure he does. He always does, anyways. So there goes Google starting to climb too. You're short NVDA.
Oh man.
From 183.48. Okay, so OB.
I'm willing to get a little
standing in front of the volume there. And yeah, we're going with it at night. Look at what a reload on this one. So a really nice trade on TSLL, guys. Let's see if we can get 1635s and if this momentum can be sustained. Show them what you got, Obi.
Yeah, no, this is absolutely crazy. So yeah, I just like I understand like sometimes you gotta wait and perceive the news, but I'm just like I'm always saying that if you have to ask what the news is, it's probably already too late. So when it comes to stocks, I'm shooting first, asking questions later, and price action again is going to be king for me. Again, not the best prices there, but a little bit too far, too fast. We'll see. This is still fresh news. This could very well continue. We could very well get right back up to 185s, but a slap right up into some of prior days levels where supply came in. Yeah, I don't know. I do want to get a little bit involved. Let's see what we do with that 82.5 as well. Again, some interesting prices. And you talked about that 180 as well, options level from in this morning.
Yeah.
Those longs are probably sitting very, very pretty here as of right now. Back through 183s. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a reversion, or do we accept higher prices above the opening range and trade a little bit higher? That's the question I'm asking. You know what, honestly, I tried to punch into 184s $184 for the short. I missed and I got 183.5. So that's a little bit of a slip there. Not the best pricing, but I'm going to be patient and wait and see. This could very well be digesting and take legs higher as that move comes in, but I'm just trying to take a quick tape scalp here.
Yeah, good call, man. Hopefully that comes into play. I mean, with that supply zone, we can get sellers to step in and start pushing price down, but we are north of that 183 level, and it looks like we're starting to take somewhat of a breath, guys. There's a nice volatility spike. Apple's still grinding higher, and then we have Google running towards the high of the day as well. What we haven't done is ran through our volume scanner, and we'll pull up the SPY options chain before we do it, just because you'll be able to see the volume most definitely step in and just the concentration. Okay, there you go. Just like that, Obi. Way to go. That's starting to come in aggressively. So way to stick to your guns on that, brother. We'll get you to display that trade momentarily. But yeah, what a big time reload there in TSLL. So now as for these SPY 0 DTEs, at the money IV around 41%, relatively high. But let's take a look at some of these, the open interest and the contracts closing. Look at the volume coming in through here. This is going to start changing. He is the reversion, man. He says, there he goes, $1 as quick as you like. Obi, talk to him. We're going to go over the options chain momentarily because you got a nice short going on.
Yeah, this is absolutely crazy price action right here. So I've already covered a decent chunk there. Yeah, big miss on my part not being able to punch those 184s. That was the spot. We slapped up, we broke through 184s, got just slammed in. And like I said before, it happens so fast, I don't even know. I'm not even thinking consciously, but I just know that, like, okay, cool, in this moment, I do want to put on a little bit of risk this way. And I'm just trying to kind of enact that real time right now. But yeah, this 183, like I said, this could still digest and take a leg higher. This is still in an uptrend now because we have fresh news. The question becomes, what's the probability of continuation here? I'm just trying to take a quick tape scalp of what I think is high probability price action on the initial reaction of the move here. So a quick little, 50, 60, 70 pennies. Doesn't hurt anybody, but it could definitely be a little bit better. If I hit that 184s, it'd be about $1 now. But you know what? I'm not even thinking about that too much. Just kind of talking out loud here. Let's see if this catches a little bit of continuation, maybe some reversion, because in my opinion, that was definitely a little too far, too fast. And then the tape definitely confirmed as well. So. Wow. All right. So
do you think we can get one of those
there?
Yeah. All right. Nice.
Tape reading. Tape is king, man. No. I got most of it.
You got more. Okay. You got most.
I got a breadcrumb left, but that was my trade. I'm willing to get in more if we crack below 82 halves. But again, options levels.
Yeah.
82
absolutely.
Halves, should be interesting. 180 was interesting.
Oh, there it goes, Obi. It's really starting to come in here.
Let's see what we do with this. And that 180 might get washed as well. You don't know if those
a lot of people are asking, what's the news? Is there any way we can get that? Can we get that prompt on the screen there? Yeah. So it's H20 NVDA looking H2. The H200. NVDA in China might be in the works once again. So yeah, if we can get that up there, Obi or Adara or someone. No worries. And then sure enough, we will, everybody will know what's going on. Thank you. There it is. Bloomberg Trump team is considering the sale of the NVIDIA's H200 chip to China. All right, so there it is, guys. We'll keep that up there for a couple of minutes so people can see why we're starting to see that spike to the top side. But we are coming back in as well, too. So keep that in mind, guys. It could just be a temporary volatility spikes. This is what happens in higher volatility environments. You get headline sensitive again. And I'm not necessarily going to say that's going to be the case, but it seems to be for this particular scenario right now, that is the case. All right, so I mean, there it is, guys. I mean, everything except for the short side to the, everything except for that short trade here. We've been riding this Tesla trend all day, essentially. So we're riding off of those lows, boom, 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 boom. We take some off. We wait for that pullback, patience. We didn't get the precision, but relatively close. And then sure enough, we get that additional grind to the top side. So a nice move there in Tesla there, guys. And just that's all you need is one solid trade a day. Sometimes it's significantly harder than what it seems to be, but that's why you put in the work, and hopefully you guys can come up with some solid things. Not too much time left here in the show. If there's anything you guys want us to go over. Oh, what we haven't done today, guys, make sure you get those dollar signs in and vote. I literally vote for the same thing, so I'll do it one more time. Actually, I'm gonna switch it up this time. We'll go TSLL or maybe TSLA. Make sure you get those dollar signs in and vote because it is going to be important. We go through the afternoon rundown. Now, Dara, I could say because it's 2 profits on Nvidia calls. Hope you have a great weekend. Katina, man, a big spike in the market there.
Huge spike.
Yeah, but yeah, you'll get to take advantage of it there momentarily. So yeah, guys, thanks for getting in the vote. It's leading into the weekend. Obi, do you have any weekend plans or anything along those lines?
Yeah, I gotta work on some journal reviews, kind of organizing some of my trades as well. I was talking about this yesterday, organizing them in more effective ways so that I can analyze a little bit better there. Seems like the reversion is definitely, like sellers are stepping in. Okay? So it's just like, at the end of the day, this is what I say, shoot first, ask questions later. Yeah, sure, there's news, but let's see. Let's see how the news is developing. What's up, Adara?
There's no developments, but I do want to just remind you guys of what the headline was. So it is worth noting in the past as well, and I saw some people mentioning this in the chat, there have been some things in the past where Bloomberg has actually, people have come out and said that report is incorrect, and it's actually involved Nvidia in the past as well, so just keep that in mind. But either way, Bloomberg is reporting that the Trump administration is considering the sale of Nvidia's H200 chips to China. Now, I will be keeping an eye on the Rapid Response 47 X account. This is the rapid response team for the current U.S. administration, and they will directly respond to a lot of these media reports. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. I would recommend it as well, because that can be like
there, because we were sitting at 860 before. Hopefully, okay, 983, guys. We got 2 minutes left leading into the weekend. It's been a fantastic session with Obi and I and a great week. So 17 more likes is going to get us at that 1,000 mark. Just do us a simple solid. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's for everyone else here on the team. I don't even want it done for myself. Do it for everyone else, guys. So if we can get those likes up to 1,000, 1K would be absolutely phenomenal. 25% of individuals there liking the old stream. But there it is, guys. A nice reload on TSLL. Let's see if we got that there. No, it hasn't changed whatsoever. Do it for, yeah, exactly. I'll refresh one more time because I'm sure the kind-hearted people there we go, 1K. Thank you very much, and the production team will like that. Joseph, why do you usually make daily? I don't know. I know we're saying what. I'm not going to tell you, unfortunately, but we are green on this session. I will tell you that. But yeah, I mean, Tina, man, check this reload here on Tesla. I know you look at it, grab the bottom, boom, boom, reload at VWAP and take that to the top side there.
Another one.
Another one. Ooh, you're gonna hit the reload. You're gonna hit the reload for me as well, too, if you can. I'm reloaded. All right, beautiful stuff there, brother. Thank you, much appreciated. Yeah, I mean, it's been a fantastic one, Obi. Do you want to do our 30-second trade review real quick?
Sure,
Want to fire it up? All right, 30-second trade review.
Boom.
Let's roll.
Off of the open. Apple, strong push. Where are you going? The market is falling. Reversion back to VWAP. That worked nicely. Nvidia, off of the open. Continuation, 180. Can't really get in 180s. I punched 179, not 50s instead. Take that scalp down. Don't really get involved at the VWAP hold underneath 180s. That was nice. 180s comes back in. Try an attempt at the short. Doesn't really work in. Back through consolidation breakdown. 180 once again. Works out nicely. Back reversion to VWAP. Quick intraday news. Too far, too fast.
Bang.
Questionable news, and it shows on the tape. Bit of a tape scalp right back in for $1.
Bang, nice 30-second review.
Oh yeah, Google 300.
Google
tried that as well, just a flat.
35-second review, beautiful stuff. No, in all seriousness, nice work there, guys. Tesla 30-second review. All right, Tesla, there we go, guys. We go 3 for 3. Well, I guess 2 for 2 because the reload doesn't count, and then we take a nice little move on Google as well. So a nice trade right there. Small potatoes, and then sure enough, our only loss of the day is going to be the long on IBIT, and that's your 30-second trade review. As of right now, it is the end of Obi and I, but I will be joining you guys momentarily with the afternoon rundown at the brand new desk, which is absolutely going to be phenomenal. But aside from that, guys, I'm glad that people have, it seems that the narrative has been a solid session today. Put it in the chat leading into the afternoon show. You put your red and your greens to see what we got going on. All right, and that's going to be the end of the midday, guys. Hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. See you later, Jody, and keep it green, everyone.
Stay safe. Trade well.
Boom.
Wait, I'm in.